before about someone was asking like how to get better at writing, and we were both saying like just keep doing it, just keep doing it. That guy who now that we're live, I won't say his name, but that guy was the exception to the rule. He was the one person I ever saw who literally got worse the more he wrote. It was
Well, I don't know if
astounding.
I could ever. Yeah, I don't know about anybody getting worse as they continue. No, that might not be true. I
Mm,
actually there was a movie premiere that I went to down in Los Angeles, and while I was there, and this was not recent. This was some time ago. I went to this movie. It had a bunch of my friends in it. I really wanted to support it and all of this. The movie was so bad that everybody was shaking hands with the director and really kissing his butt and all this stuff. When I got up to shake his hand, I just grabbed his hand. I was like, and, and walked out. I I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to act. I just when I
you
shook his
didn't
hand, I
want
was
to
like,
pull
"Yo,
a Doc? Is that what you're saying? You didn't want to pull a Doc and accidentally say something really, really offensive right to his face?
oh,
Not meaning to, just having no control over your mouth. You didn't want to do that. Is that what you're saying?
that was a good one. That was a good one. That's a good memory for me because I know that I was like because I remember standing behind the camera going, dude, you didn't. And then he just completely went with it. And then
Yeah,
as I was going through the edit, just I was like,
yeah.
I was
And then,
hoping that I misheard. I was hoping I'm like I just ooh, way to
oh
go,
no, and then
Nick.
of course the beautiful part being like, what, 3 hours later, you go like, I can't believe you said that to him, and I'm like, I said what? I didn't say that to his face, did I? No, you did. I have it on camera. Oh no, it was on camera.
Dude, you're so lucky I haven't turned that into a short yet.
Oh God.
It's just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should. Like,
I mean, I
we
did
have
it.
bloopers.
Yeah, whatever comes of it, I have it coming to me for sure. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it never happened, but
Oh, but ooh, what a ooh. I mean, that was rough. But at the same time, like it was just really cool of him to just like really roll with it, everything like that. Like he just didn't care. I mean,
no,
like,
yeah.
but that's Nick. You know, he makes his movies, he does his things. Yeah, like some of like a couple of them have gotten pretty good acclaim and all that.
Hmm.
But for the most part, Nick makes movies for him.
No, yeah, and I respect that because that, yeah, 100%.
No, I was
More
talking
people should be
before we
doing
went
that.
live.
Yeah.
Oh well, eh,
Look, I'm not saying the movies that we have should have been made differently. I'm saying more movies should be made in that regard.
I I still kind of struggle with that. Like as the artist, I want like fellow artists to have as many gigs as they can get and all that. I want them to
Hmm.
be busy. I want the opportunities to be there, all this stuff. But I really, really, really feel like the amount of people who are like, I don't need the education. I have the brilliance. It's there.
Oh,
It's like
well,
the
sure.
amount
Yeah.
of that I have had to sift through in my life is uh
That is tough. Yes, I suppose there is a balance there. Like somewhere in the area of total democratic freedom and some some expertise curation. Somewhere in between there, there's a sweet spot, and we may never find it because let's face it, humans are just weird.
oh no, that is definitely true.
Yeah.
It's just the right like you need to like I am a firm believer that you need to learn the rules so you can learn how to break the rules properly.
Of course, yeah.
Like I really think that is the right way to go. Ego destroys more projects than anything else. I don't even think I don't think most people would even argue with me on that one.
No, yeah. No, there's a couple of movies that I thought were movies made specifically for me. I went into them expecting to love them. I had friends who loved them, And then when I watched them, I could feel the ego wafting off of it, and was like, "This is terrible. I hate this. If I ever meet this director, I'm going to punch him. He'll probably kick my ass. He'll probably kick my ass, but I'll enjoy that more than the movie." So, you know.
I've been there. I have been in I've seen those movies. I have just the worst part about seeing those movies around pseudo intellectuals and pseudo artists is when they come out of those absolutely terrible movies talking about how brilliant they were, and I'm like,
Right.
okay, you're just looking for buddies or just like
Or something, yeah.
something.
Yeah.
There's no way, and it like, but the thing that I was saying about ego, the reason I bring that up is because it's amazing how the people with the biggest egos and everything like that tend to be the ones that get people to believe in their projects and all this stuff. Yet everybody knows ego is what destroys almost every project.
Yeah.
It is a pickle, a conundrum. I don't like, what am I thinking here?
No, yeah.
See, that's I need to not edit a couple hours before the show because all my brain is doing is thinking of synonyms as I'm like sitting there just staring. But a couple hours for every freaking page of my book as I'm going through. Yesterday I did four pages. Today I almost did 4 pages. Seems to be my number.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad.
I know, I don't think it's bad considering the fact that it absolutely destroys me by the end of it. I'm exhausted mentally, somehow physically.
No, yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah. I don't get it either. Happens to me too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like when you're editing your stuff, I mean, I know when because you have talked about this when it comes to self-portrait. When you try to edit self-portrait, you can't. You just sit down and start reading it again. When I tried to edit my stuff until Jennifer got a hold of it, I caught myself just going into and reading it and in my messed up brain, it had a flow. But as you have said, once I read it, it all makes sense.
Right, yeah. Because if you're reading it out loud, you are controlling the flow, and so your flow in your head now is being translated to me as the listener, and now I get it. When I'm reading it myself and I'm the one who has the control of the flow, I don't know where you're going with this. So I have trouble following along. Yeah. Which is why, yes, this is going to make a great audiobook when you're done with it.
No, I mean, to be real, as proud of myself as I was for writing and finishing a novel, I got so much work to do. But I finished a few drafts of a novel. I mean, more than that. I wrote a beginning, middle, and end, and the whole damn thing makes sense.
Yeah.
There's like when Jennifer was going through it, she mentioned a few plot holes, like he found a book and whatever, like why did I mention it? Like there was like a few things like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to pay that off here, but the overarching thing, it's good. It just, what Jennifer has told me, and to be specific, I'm talking about Jennifer Willis, a professional editor that
yeah, firm but fair.
There you go. That is. I am very appreciative of what she did, but what she did was absolutely just destroy and tear apart my book, and just like, and I'm sitting here like, you know, that part of you that just, I want to poke the bear and I want to piss it off a little bit more, and I want to see how that part of me is the only part that is saving my brain while I'm going through this. Because while Jennifer is like giving the same note over and over and over, and you're just seeing the exclamation points and the amount of them get longer and longer, and and I'm just sitting over here. Like at first I was like, oh, you poor woman. But after a while I was like, I paid this woman for this a lot of money. And I'm looking at everything she destroyed, and I'm like, we're even. No, we're even. Yeah. Um, no, it. I was just talking about ego, and there's a big part of this that my ego is absolutely slamming me on the edit because, like, she's saying, "I don't understand this. This isn't clear," and I'm sitting back going, well, yeah, but, and over here, and then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, she's right.
Mm, yeah.
And I'm just sitting there getting humbled like every 30 You know what? For for guys especially like I was in my early 20s before I got into the entertainment industry and I started going to all these auditions and getting rejected, like rejection after rejection after rejection. I think every artist should try to write a book, have it professionally edited by somebody kind of like this, and then
Right.
face this humiliation and defeat on a daily basis until you get it. Like that needs to be like a graduating requirement
Right.
for
Yeah.
something
No. Yeah.
because
Well, that's
I
well,
know
that's
how like I'm gonna be way better by the end of this.
yeah. Yeah. No, that's right
Um,
up there with who was it? I'm trying to remember who said it. It may just be one of those like internet meme things. No one actually said it, but like like in the same way, like some countries require like 2 years of military service for all citizens. Like
yeah.
you get, yeah. Some people are focused like United States should require, everyone do 2 years of working in the service industry. Like you
Oh,
got to, you got to, you got to go wait tables for minimum wage plus tips for 2 years before you're allowed to do anything like that.
I've kind of had my own thoughts on things like that. I think just some level of community service. So like
Also, that yeah,
so like doing like trade work, stuff like that, getting
yeah,
dirty, getting on your hands and knees. Like everybody should know how that feels, and everybody should know what you're doing. Like when you're leaving trash behind, when you're messing something up, when you're like, well, I don't understand why this is a big deal. A couple years of doing community service, like 10 hours a week or
hmm,
something like that. Just you're helping out here. You're helping restore this building. The warehouse district is down, and all this
right,
just all these things. How much better and how quickly our country could actually just the infrastructure and all these things could get better. How much better off the individual would be with the amount of skills that they would accrue during that time. And it would only be a couple of years and not that many hours per week. So like not a lot of people would be proficient in anything, but
right,
pretty much everybody would have the basics down to where they would know how to learn.
yeah, exactly, yeah. No, for sure.
I
Just
mean,
just
but
having
that's the
some
kind of
kind of
world that like I would like put into a story or something like that. Like here's something that I really I really messed up when it came to like talking politics when I was
mm,
younger and all this stuff. Every conversation, every conversation about every problem, anything like that, I always took it like, okay, I'm trying to make the ideal world, right?
oh sure,
Like
okay, yeah,
if I'm writing a utopia, if I'm doing this, how did I get here? What
hmm,
is the backstory? What was the legislation? How did the characters? What was the decision? A big catastrophic event? Like whatever.
right,
But what were the decisions that got us to utopia? So I look at like the modern problems, and as I'm talking to anybody, doesn't matter left, right, whatever, I that's the place that I approach it from. Weirdly, chasing a utopia and stuff like that has put me a lot more on the left in recent years.
oh no shit.
Kind of strange. Kind of strange. That was, but the thing is, when I still go to the left's economic policies and stuff like that, they're not that good. It's like the right's economic policies are still the ones that work. They're just not giving enough money. That's the only thing.
It's
How it's run, the way it goes, so like that. How like disseminate, set aside from Reaganomics. That I'm not talking about that,
okay,
but basically
that,
everything else. You raise the minimum wage, you lower living costs and things like that, and basically we got what we want. An actual change to the economic system is not what we are actually requiring. We're requiring an adjustment to the levels.
Well, I mean, and for sure, but keeping in mind in some ways that that is, and like, yeah, raising the minimum wage, lowering of and that, I've talked before about like my feelings on UBI. I'm like, yeah, UBI is a great idea if we have market restrictions. Like, for instance, I said when I
Yeah,
lived in Oregon, Oregon has almost no rent control laws. And so I know for a fact that if the government was handing out $1,000 a month checks, it would take less than a year for my landlord to raise the rent by $1,000 a month, and I would just
right.
never end that, and I'd be right back where I started. Um, so, but I mean, but yeah, I mean, part of it is also like we are talking also systemic change because part of what, like you said, like it's not the system that's the problem. We just need to move more. The problem with
Ooh,
the system is that
economic. Let me
economic,
be clear. Economic. The
right, right,
system's got to change.
right, okay, yeah. But that's the thing is like right now our economy is kind of like built to reward that hoarding of cash upwards. Like I said before, I would like to see the stock market go away because that is the source of all of our problems. The problem is that the stock market is the economy now. Like that's part of the problem. I
Well, and
mean,
that's why I'm
I
saying,
mean,
like, when I'm talking about adjusting levels, I'm talking about absolutely raising the minimum wage, raising the taxes on wealthy, and everything like that.
mhm.
I still stand by whatever comedian said this. I still stand by it. Once you've made $1 billion, I say we give you a trophy and say congratulations, you won capitalism.
Right,
There's
yeah,
no like what the hell?
right.
Like I'm not on board with
Okay,
that. I like
so
that kind of hoarding of wealth, but that's what I'm saying. Like if
see, that's where I'm
the
confused. What are the
tax
right
whatever.
wing policies that you're okay with there? Because that what you just said is very leftist.
Well, no. See, that's why I'm talking about like when I'm talking about adjusting the numbers and everything like that, where the modern time does put me a lot more on the left. But I'm not
Mm.
talking about actually getting rid of anything. I'm talking about changing the numbers. Like
Oh, okay.
you're talking about getting rid of the stock market. People are talking about getting rid of what to get to UBI, you would have to get rid of a lot of other things. I don't think
Right.
you need to do that in order to fix the problems. I think the
Okay.
actual balance is like actually is supposed to be found.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, and I think that's kind of where we see a lot of that, where, that frustration on the left is that we do, in a lot of ways, it feels like it's very simple. Like, oh, we're going to have, Medicare or something like that, or Medicaid in place so that people who are of low income, they can still get some, help when they need it. But then once it's in place, then we see a lot of stuff thrown on top where it's like, okay, well, they're going to be not allowed to negotiate drug prices. So we're going to price gouge the hell out of Medicaid so that it runs out of money 10 times
Yeah.
faster than it should. Or, and that's the kind of, and so it's like, that's when we start sitting there going like, look, we tried to be reasonable, but if you're just going to keep doing that to us, then we're just going to burn your house down. Like that's where you get that sort of extremist leftist ideal coming from. Is like, we tried to be nice. We really, really did.
And where I do understand like and I mean it's plain and simple. I do understand that like there does like in my opinion there does need to be restriction on how much somebody can charge like free capitalism
Mhm.
that's destructive towards a country towards an economy like that and it literally does just benefit a few people and it basically destroys
Right.
the country along the way.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about like unrealized gains is
Mm.
quite possibly the most evil thing that the pharmaceutical companies, the oil companies, and everything's like that. It's like, you mean
Yeah.
morality?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
No,
no, there are still poor people that have some money. Those are unrealized gains. It's like, no, dude, no. That's what's
yeah.
left of your morality.
Yeah, no, it's like that seems to be the business world's like general like rule of thumb amongst the business world is any money that exists in the world that is not yours is a loss. And that is such a fucked up way of thinking of things.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's almost like business ethics has disappeared from the zeitgeist.
Yeah, well, I mean, but again, that comes to the stock market because that's the mentality you want if the only thing you care about is the value of your company's stock.
Well, I know you're saying the stock market, but like realistically, you get rid of the stock market, it would just be compared in another way. It would be hoarded wealth and probably physical wealth.
Oh, probably, but I mean, like I said, we tried to be nice.
Well, I mean, I'm not at burn the
Yeah.
world down yet, so I'm not at we
Oh,
tried to be
I'm not
no,
a
I'm still
yeah.
in the fight. I just don't think like
No, I get it, and like,
when I
and I
say you're
have
going toward like what I mean, stop saying the same damn thing and like advertising yourself as an extremist, man. You got to realize how you're coming.
no. I have said before that I do admit that taking out the stock market is unrealistic because too much of the economy is intertwined with it now. So I wouldn't actually say that we should do that. I'm just saying like this is the pathway we need to look at is disentangling this. And I have said this before, and I'll make this very clear. Any future that does not include more episodes of Doctor Who, I'm not for. So anything that would like crash an economy, you know, destroy any relations we have with the other side of the pond, anything that means I don't get more episodes of Doctor Who, no. That's where I draw the line.
Privilege.
Which I'm genuinely worried about right now because the new Disney version of Doctor Who is a little weird. I'm honestly worried for its future.
What do you mean it's weird? I don't watch Doctor Who. I don't know.
It's a yeah. No, BBC decided to partner with Disney so that like now Disney and BBC are making Doctor Who together, and so there's this sort of they basically rebooted again. They're now on season 2 of the third version,
Yeah,
and
it's a blonde lady now, right? Or no, it's a black
uh
dude.
well, it's a black dude now. Might be a blonde lady again coming up. That's the rumor. Um, and but yeah, it had. Look, okay. So this thing is, you're not into Doctor Who, and I don't know if any of our viewers are really Doctor Who. But I feel weird going on a spiel about Doctor Who all of a sudden. Like I have that crowd, but I don't know if that crowd is here. So, but But
Whatever.
yeah, no, there's always been this tradition of Doctor Who where they do a Christmas special every year. A couple years back, a new showrunner came in, I think was Muslim and didn't really feel right doing a Christmas special. And so they still did the special every year, but they changed it to New Year's. So now it's a New Year's special. So I was like, that is perfect. I love that. All inclusive. Everyone can get behind New Year's. We're good. One of the old showrunners decided to come back, and the first thing he did was change it back to Christmas. And the first Christmas special was a story about where the star that leads the wise men to Jesus came from. And that just hurt. It just hurt so much.
I mean,
Because it's supposed to be an all-inclusive sci-fi, not fucking Christian propaganda. Okay, like that's just weird. Okay, it made me very, very uncomfortable.
well, now hold on a second. Like you gotta
It's Doctor Who, not the Veggie Tales. Okay,
in my opinion, that doesn't matter. Because
no,
if you like the book that I'm writing is having a kintsude, is that Shinto propaganda? Is it like telling a story from it? Is it propaganda, or is it the story that is going to attract like the audience that you have had for 50 years, who has a tradition of every year having a Doctor Who Christmas special, who probably that bothered a lot of people. So instead of Christian propaganda actually playing to the audience that has stayed loyal for all these years. I mean, that's a really weird, in my opinion, that's a really weird thing to have a problem with when that's been, I mean, if you've had that tradition
okay,
for literally longer than you or I have been alive, that's kind
yes,
of a weird, like, that makes sense for somebody to go, oh, well, this year, like, are you ready for the Doctor Who Christmas? Well, I guess
true, but that's the thing is that in previous times that Christmas special, quote unquote Christmas special, has been something on a more secular level. They were stories of alien planets, and they happen to celebrate Christmas because
no,
they
I
are
only, I like one of
yeah.
the only Doctor Who episodes I've ever seen is the fireplace one. and that was a Christmas episode, wasn't it?
The fireplace. Oh, the time portal fireplace with the clockwork robots. No, that
Yeah.
was not a Christmas special. No.
I
Yeah.
wait. Oh, I don't know I can't remember the robots. I just remember. Yeah, David Tennant, the fireplace episode. That wasn't a Christmas one.
Yeah. Not that I agree. If it's the one I'm thinking of, no.
I thought it was like every year around Christmas he showed up. I've seen very little Doctor Who, so I'm not about to sit here and go, no. I just like that's really what I thought.
If it's the episode I'm thinking of, with Marie de Pompadour, right? The little French girl.
I literally just said.
See, that's the thing is I'm trying to figure out some details here. If you like, what else can you remember besides the
David
fireplace?
Tennant, fireplace on a spaceship.
Yeah, no. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's not a Christmas special. Yeah.
Oh, well then I don't think I've ever seen a Doctor Who Christmas special.
But yeah, that's the thing. Is like they're usually very kind of like
one of our viewers, a Doctor Whovian, says, wasn't that a Marie Antoinette or something?
Not Marie Antoinette. It was Marie de Pompadour.
Oh, there you go. The Italian men's goddess.
Suppose, yeah. If I really like, I don't know my French history that well, but I think who she was Marie Antoinette's husband's lover. Is who it was about. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being pretty fascinated by that episode, and I was like, "Man, this is Doctor Who."
It was one of the better ones.
I think I actually watched that with you and like the old gallery, and I remember like freaking out about that, and everybody like, "Well, okay, not every episode is that good," and I was like, because I remember I was like, "Oh man, I'm in." And then afterwards, I started I went and I watched the Christopher Eccleston like when they brought it back, and I was like,
right. Oh yeah, that's a hell of a step back. That's rough. You really got to brace yourself when you do it in that direction. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I watched that episode, and then I watched all the Christopher Eccleston, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna find out what the good episodes are, and then I never watched another episode of Doctor Who again. Well, no, but I did watch a part of one, the Peter Capaldi, where he's trying to like talk about whether he gave Beethoven the song or if Beethoven gave him the song.
Oh. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Like I watched that and my brain just I was like, awesome. Yeah, no. I can see the appeal to Doctor Who, but I can also see the lack of appeal to Doctor Who.
That's the thing. We are talking about a show that's been around for 60 years, hundreds of episodes. There came a point where they did kind of just decide to toss continuity out the window. They were like, "There's too much to keep track of. Forget it." And
you know what? I just came up with something. All right. You have a friend, or you're dating somebody. You've been with them for a long time, and you have a good relationship. Everything is going fine, everything like that. Your girlfriend, your partner, whatever, has a friend. That friend does not like you. Just whatever the reason, everything like that, they just cannot say everything like that. So they push your girl, they push your partner, they just push them, leave this person, and eventually you're alone. Okay. You follow me on this, correct?
Well, I mean, that's never happened to me, but I've heard of it happening.
No, it hasn't. Yeah. It hasn't happened to me either. But this is where I'm kind of connecting some dots here.
Okay.
When you are a Christian, like somebody like me, everything like that, you got, Christmas comes around, your favorite show, you love that your favorite show has its Christmas episodes, stuff like that. It's something that does speak to you. It's part of, and yes, there may be way too much representation for Christian culture, but at the same time, the individuals who, I mean, because I don't think there's a lot of people who really love Doctor Who that like are super racist or like really suck in that way. So the people who were fans of Doctor who like enjoyed the Christmas, I don't think these were the evil Christians that most people on the left
it's
have
not
problem
that.
with.
But that's the thing. My point is that I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Is like, yes, as an atheist, I do love Christmas. I do love Christmas.
I just want to like reach the point real quick.
Mhm.
But when like you're sitting there and everything like that, and you're watching Christmas be eliminated from this thing, from this thing, from this store, from this thing, and it's like, yeah, okay, like you want to be supportive, you want to be all inclusive, everything like that, but there's a little bit you still want to hold on to the representation of your own a little bit. Like so you like for me, I try to be cool with this. I try to be cool with that. I try to be cool with this.
Sure.
And I basically am with almost all of it. But every once in a while, I come across something that I'm like, wait, really? That too? I mean, are you guys trying to like straight up erase this from the zeitgeist? Or is there actually trying to be a balance? Because if you're actually trying to erase it from culture, like society and culture, I'm definitely not with you. But if you're trying to find a balance, I'm 100% with you.
Okay. So my point being wasn't just the fact that they went back to it being Christmas special. Yeah, I would have been okay with that. My point being is that they went hard in one direction of it being even though they've had Christmas specials before, it's never been that Christian. It's always been very much about the coming together as a family. One episode they
More
very
Thanksgiving
very
than Christmas.
yeah, they made a very specific point of pointing out how every culture has a holiday right smack dab in the middle of winter, saying, "Hey, the darkest time has passed, and we made through it, and this is our celebration where the light begins to come back." That was a Christmas special. Was talking about how everyone celebrates the passing of the darkest times. It was very beautiful. And that's usually the direction they go with these Christmas specials. Is that it is about the the kind of very tangible parts of it, that it just happens to be in the culture, and everyone can kind of get behind that. Sometimes they don't even have any sort of Christmas themes to it. It's just something that happens to take place on Christmas. There was literally one called the Christmas Invasion, and that's all it was. It was an alien invasion that just happened to take place on Christmas Day.
Okay, well that sounds
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Now,
no,
I think I'm gonna make you angry here.
okay.
I think the only Christmas Doctor Who episode I'm gonna watch is gonna be this one because you have my curiosity, because I know you. I've been friends with
Okay.
you for over a decade, and I have seen like when Jesus enters the chat, Doc's devil rises immediately. So I'm not sure if this is that bad of an episode or if it's just, oh, Jesus. Like, I'm curious.
Okay. You want me to get it for you? I mean,
Isn't it on Disney Plus?
yes, it is on Disney Plus. Yes, it would be
The most recent one, right?
the most recent Christmas special. Yes,
Isaac,
not the
but
most recent episode. They've done a full season since
right.
then. So yeah.
Well, no, I'm just thinking, if they did skip it a couple years, so like that, the amount of backlash and stuff like that, I could also see where you are probably spot on, where they went too hard at like trying to do the overcorrection after missing it for a couple years. I could
Mhm.
easily see it going that way. I'm just curious because, ooh, okay, this is an icky comparison, but I'm not really having another one come into mind right away. It's kind of like when, like, a homophobe or a racist person sees a trans person or a black person be a superhero, and immediately it's like, oh god, like I'm like, and they like the hatred like gets kicked up immediately, and good movies get poor reviews because a
Sure.
woman or a person of color was like in it.
And I absolutely understand where you're coming from on that one. And I do try to be. That's the thing is, like, I like to believe that I am tempered in that. Like, that there have I think we talked about this before about how, like, the movie Contact. One of the things I love about the movie Contact is that um what's his name? The all right guy. What's his name?
McConaughey.
McConaughey. McConaughey's character gives the best reason for believing in God in that movie that I have ever seen, and I genuinely appreciated it. And but you know, that was that
Well,
was
that's
30
one thing
years
that
ago.
I
I haven't
really
seen
love.
anything that good since.
I- hmm. No, I one thing that I really love about science and scientists is
Mhm.
there are a lot of scientists out there that are Christians because there's no reason to suggest that God didn't create science. Like
Mhm.
for
No.
like I'm a Christian. when I talk to a creationist, I want to throttle them because I'm like, you like, okay, your God is a is like the weakest, weest, most like has no imagination, nothing.
Mhm.
My God made the cosmos.
Right.
All right, and has been doing this for like 14.1 billion years.
Well,
Like
and yeah,
your God apparently hit the fast forward button. Like we see things differently. Like
no,
in my eyes, like going to this creator God, like what even like you know what, and I've had a lot of bonding moments with people who believe in the simulation theory because basically it's the same thing. It's
uh,
just your God's name is Dave.
right, yeah, yeah. Well, and I totally get where you're coming from. But if I were to put it in the same context, and this goes back to another conversation I think we had last week before last, I don't remember. Um, we've talked about how like we might not have had this conversation on the air. Now that I think about it, this might have been something we talked about
Oh,
off the air. Um, the fact that how you know the good men of the world kind of always have a defense system up, because
oh yeah,
we
you've talked
yeah
about this a couple times.
yeah we know that there is bad men out there. We know that the bad men out there have put women on high alert, and so now the good men have to be constantly checking to make sure that nothing we do can be construed as too intimidating or aggressive, because we know that the women who have been put on high alert by the bad men might, for their own safety, assume the worst of us. It's kind of the same thing. It's like,
All
I can make maybe a sexist joke here and there to my friends who know me, who know that I am not a dangerous man. I cannot do them in public because women who do not know me do not know not a dangerous man. So I have now raised a red flag. And kind of the same
yeah,
thing goes when it
I
comes
can see that.
to you, someone who I know. I know you're a good person. I have nothing against your beliefs. I know that you are well-meaning and open-minded, and that you do follow the actual teachings of Jesus, versus the truly dangerous folks who don't actually believe in Christianity. They simply enjoy using Christianity as a tool in which to advance their supremacy.
Something
Okay.
to really back up your point here. I really think this is just something that made me really sad and happy.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pastor that gave an interview about he's like, this has gotten out of control because I have my Republican congregation coming to me going, you got to stop with all this woke politics stuff and all stuff. He's like, this is not politics. This is the Bible. This is what
Right.
I've been teaching you since you were a child.
Right.
This
This is
didn't
the
change.
actual word of Jesus.
And
Yes.
I read that. I swear, I almost jumped out of my seat. I was like, thank you.
Right.
This
Exactly.
isn't
Yeah.
the thing. This is not the thing. Jesus was like, love thy neighbor, care for thy neighbor. Like, it's easier for a needle or for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. Like, go down to the slums and wash the poor people's feet. Like, that was our
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
Like this.
And here's the
this
and
whole
and
thing. Like, it
yeah.
was never that.
But then like I said, it becomes that whole sort of like, not the non-Christian folks are on high alert, because until we know a person personally, we don't know if you're an actual Jesusist or if you're a supremacist Jesusist. And
Ooh.
so it's like, yeah, it's like when something like that, when something, Russell T. Davies is the guy's name. I do not personally know Russell T. Davies. I like to think he's an okay guy because he's also been very progressive in making sure there's, representation on Doctor Who. But I don't know him. So when he goes way hard into the Bible in a sci-fi show, that's going to set off the alarm bells. That's going to sit there and go like, okay, I mean, can we trust this guy? Like, or because I don't know him personally any more than if I got up on stage and was just like, all right, women be quiet. The men are talking now. Like that would get a huge laugh at a party at my friend's house. that would get me lynched on stage, and rightfully so.
Yeah. I don't think there's a room that I could say that and actually have people think it's funny. I look too much like a Dothraki to actually have people not think that's the way I think.
Right, yeah.
I know my game. I know the rules with the cards that I've been dealt. I have certain privileges, and I have no, you can't do that.
Right.
Which, like I've told you before, it when I when I moved to Portland and I got out of like where I grew up and all the people I grew up with and all this stuff, it was funny to have so many people kind of like imply or straight up ask, "Why do you talk black?" And I'm like, this is not the city that I would think to get asked that question. That seems like one of the most racist things to like. In the progressive mindset, to have somebody be able to talk a color,
Right.
that is something that literally specifically seems against like the whole message of like Portland.
That is odd. I gotta
But
say.
I had to change my dialect.
I
had to lose
do
my
not have an
accent.
explanation for that.
No, I still don't, but I still think it's hilarious because I would call my friends and go, "Hey man, is this black slang?" He's like, and of course, I mean, I would call one of my black friends because I wouldn't think my white friend would have an answer for this. But instead, every time I was met with a confusing conversation, like, I didn't think so.
Right, yeah.
Like, and then just like other people, like you could hear him on the other line go, "Hey, is this a black thing?" Like just kind of like asking other people in the room and going like, "No, yes," and just every single time, like the game over what is black and what is white talk doesn't ever actually.
Yeah.
I mean, the N word. That's yes.
Sure.
That's
there's also an odd representation to that too when it comes to, because I remember a couple years back seeing on TikTok there was literally a sort of back and forth kind of like argument going on between blacks and Asians that I was watching unfold on TikTok as to whether or not the junk drawer is a black thing or an Asian thing.
That's a poor people thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, if you're poor, then white people got it too. That is a transcends race kind of thing. But that's
one of the
like
first things that happened when we
these
bought our house and we were putting it together was, this is the junk drawer. Like that was an established drawer when we bought our house.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, my parents. My parents climbed their way up the ladder. My parents went from working class to upper middle class because they both were like in the first generation of their family to go to college. They still have junk drawers to this day because it gets ingrained in you once you got it.
Yeah,
but that's the thing is like these were.
I don't think that's a thing that. I don't think that's a racial thing at all.
No. And I think it probably has to do with the fact that both the Asian community and the black community, the only time they ever meet white people is they're rich white people who don't have junk drawers, and so they just assume that it must be a race thing.
What?
That's my theory. I base that on
but that
never
doesn't make any
conversing
sense.
with
Though.
anybody
All
about
poor
this.
people hang out with poor people. Most poor people I know don't have, like, they might have a rich friend, but if they're anything like me, they go hang out with that rich friend and then go, "I'm not hanging out at their place again," because it just makes me feel bad.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I grew up. I had the one friend that you could fit like 6 of my houses, like the times that we lived in houses.
Right,
not
yeah.
apartments. Our apartments could probably fit 13 of our apartments in this place. It was huge. I swear to God, the chandelier in their entryway was bigger than like any living room I'd ever had up at that much until probably bigger than the one I got right now. But I mean, a very cool person, everything like that. Like very cool friend, all this stuff. I did not want to be there. Like, do you want to hang out in this living room or the other one? The other one? Asshole, at my house, you gotta wait after somebody goes to the bathroom so you don't smell poop when you go in there. And you have 2 living rooms?
Right, yeah. Yep.
Like, no, hanging out at those places just made me feel bad. Now, I had, like, other poor friends and stuff like that would go over there and, like, that was their vacation. And I understand that, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I can't find the... Set aside from that.
Right.
Set aside from that. Who brags about their junk drawer? Like, this is a... I want to know where they get the impression that white people don't have it or, like, anything like that. Because how often have you gone into a place and, like, you know, like, this is the living room, this is the bathroom, this is the office, but oh, let me show you my junk drawer. I have leftover bread ties.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
no,
what the fuck?
That's a necessity thing too, because it's like, oh, I'm trying to fix something, I can't put it. Well, no, go grab a twist tie out of the junk drawer. That's how we discover where our friends' junk drawers are. Yeah,
exactly. You got to hang out. You got to be there. You got like something has to happen to be sent towards this place.
Right, exactly.
Also,
something that you need.
Do you use the word towards and forwards?
Towards? Occasionally, not in regular conversation. No.
Okay. That is how I write. And Jennifer, going back to the edit on my book, I'm telling you, man, it's where my brain is swimming in. That's why I look like a crazy person this week. But Jennifer is telling me that like towards and forwards is the British way of speaking. That is not the American way. And I've been sitting there talking to my friends in North Dakota like, no, that's how we talk. And I'm like, I'm screwed. Like, dude, no, like, yes, there's so few people in North Dakota and all that. How do we have like a British education? Like, the way we talk, the words that we use, like a lot of this stuff, I am being told that even my punctuation is British English, not American English.
Interesting. That's okay. That's a really good question. There's probably have to call an anthropologist to get an answer to that one. Yeah, well, I mean, and we talked about this before, man. Like, yeah, you paid good money for this advice, but it's entirely up to you to follow it or not. If you want to stick to your guns and leave it in there.
This is real though, but if this is like real, like, because having these like pocket dialects and like things like this throughout the country, I'm a little bit worried that I have one, and if I ignore this advice and try to go toward, like, literally towards something, am I actually like kind of alienating myself and breaking the reader's brain as they're going through and going towards? Who the fuck says towards? It's toward. Like,
that's a good question. I don't know.
Like, those are the things, like, when I'm telling you that I am stressing to like, and like the crash coming out of these edits and going through this, it is absolutely breaking me on a daily basis. I don't know if I can do a second book. I have to actually write this and make it like a solidly complete story with a definitive end, which it already has. But
because it may very well be your only one, is what you're feeling.
I say that now, but I know as soon as
now.
I get done with this and I have another day and I'm just sitting there being bored, I know that I'm gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I'll dip my toe and oh shit, I'm swimming across the English Channel. Like,
yeah, no, that's the thing about stuff like this, man, is like you always, I mean, like it's happened to me a dozen or so times. I mean, you were there the last time it happened to me, when I was like, I'm done trying to be an independent filmmaker. And then I spent a weekend with you. And then I was like, hey, Brad, want to make a movie?
Good times.
Yeah.
Oh, we came up, we had some good ideas. Oh man, I still think like an entire like series of mockumentaries on like human behavior, like starting with Nature's Course for us. I still think that could have been a diabolically hilarious series.
Yeah, might have gotten us in some trouble, but it would have been the fun kind of trouble.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Huge. But that's why you like that's why I said like I was the perfect person to have in that role
Mm-hmm.
because I was the insecure douchebag. I was never the dangerous one, but so everybody who knows me was always just like they were just like, "Oh God, Brad, will you freaking shut up, man? No, just stop. You're trying too hard. Will you play? Why is your hair coiffed? Do you have hairspray, bitch?" Like I was that douchebag, and the thing was, I don't have a lot of regrets
Mm.
because I look back on that and I cringe my way through 1,000 hilarious memories.
Sure, sure, yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, ah. And I know that I am a hilarious memory to a lot of other people. But the last thing that I kind of want to say before we actually get into the show
Oh yeah, what
is
time is it?
we've been going for about 51 minutes. It's
Hey.
a strong preamble. That's what it is.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Uh, damn it. As
You lo- re-
yeah,
oh,
that fast. That I'm telling you, the
it was
edit,
gonna be our big finish.
it really was. I feel like it was something really powerful. Doesn't matter. All right, all right, all right. Speaking of McConaughey, all right, 3, 2. Welcome to Heist. I'm Bradley Hackworth, joined by Jonathan Ems, otherwise known as Doc.
Greetings, fellow humans.
And this week we are going to be covering The Count of Monte Cristo and Romancing the Stone. Honestly, could not get further apart from each other. These are,
Yeah.
I mean,
Romancing the Stone was kind of an accident too. We were gonna do something else. We were gonna do a movie called
that's right,
Gunman,
Gunman.
right? Because I was on the subject of when we did the rundown a few weeks back, and I wanted to further explore the genre that is people who hate each other lost in the jungle together. Gunman was the one that I was going to bring up, but as it happens, I could not find a copy of Gunman to save my life.
Neither could I.
Apparently,
I was like,
apparently
it
the
sucks that
world
that
has
happens.
forgotten Mario Van Peebles,
You
and
know
that's
what
just a
we need to
tragedy.
do though?
Mm,
I thought I can't believe I'm just thinking about this now. We need to get a VPN so we can check Netflix and Amazon Prime in different countries and stuff like that around the world because they
yeah.
always have a different catalog for different
No, that's
countries.
true. That's true. That's true.
So you
You can
can
try. You
so
can try that.
by the way, that's in case you didn't know, you can basically with one subscription either to Netflix, to HBO, to Amazon Prime with one
Mm-hmm.
subscription and a VPN, just change it to other countries and you can basically get any movie that's ever been made
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with one subscription.
Yep. And it's funny too because like you also got to make sure you keep track of where you got it because I was watching a TV show on Netflix, long running show. I was maybe halfway through it, and then when I went to go put it on because it was one of those shows I like have in the background while I'm working on other stuff, it was gone. I was like, oh, like did they dropped the cover. Like I'm like, this is why I gotta buy physical media again because these mother effers keep taking this stuff away. I'm in the middle of watching it, and oh, my VPN is still on. Okay, turn off my
Right?
VPN, and it's back.
Right.
Okay,
You know, if they ever take Supernatural away from me from the streaming services, I am absolutely screwed. That is the album that just plays over and over again in the background
sure.
while I'm writing.
There you go. Yeah. Now you should just go ahead and I mean you'll have to probably also buy a DVD player, but you should just go ahead and buy the DVDs, man. Like,
Dude, you don't have a DVD player?
oh, I do now. I had to make a point to buy one, but yeah,
What?
it was one of those. Yeah, I didn't realize
Oh,
it.
you don't. Okay, yeah, no, we're okay. This is you're a PC gamer. I buy a PlayStation 5, so like the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5. I
Right.
do that, so I never have to do stuff like this.
Yes, that is one of the upcycles of the consoles. They do have the built-in optical drives, and I can appreciate that. But yeah,
No, I forgot about that. God, I need to send you my PS4. Just, at this
I
point,
would not say no.
yeah, I know, but my wife might.
That's fair. That's
Because
okay. I mean,
that's hers. But
yeah. No, I did
here's
take out a loan to buy a gaming computer just a few months ago, so I'm okay if you want if it doesn't happen.
Jesus.
Yeah, it
Dang,
was a
man.
loan from a friend, and not an actual loan, and I'm
Oh,
almost paid off. Yeah,
that's okay. Well,
yeah,
that's nice.
yeah.
No, I don't know. They're already talking about another generation for the PlayStation. I'm like, nope. Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah,
Once a decade. Once a decade, I think I'm okay.
see,
That makes sense.
and this is where that whole stock market thing comes in, man. Like they can't resist the fact that their stock price goes up every time they announce new tech, and so they got to announce new tech every 5 seconds.
Well, there are times that does go well, and there are times that it doesn't.
Hmm.
Perfect example, Marvel.
Right.
Their stock did not go up with the constant announcements of new projects and all this
Right.
stuff. I think it's going up with the announcing that they're backing off on the amount of projects.
Yeah. Did you hear about that thing that Feig said? I caught a whiff of that. Kevin
Yeah.
Feig comes out and openly admits that the
What I've been
problem
saying this
since
whole time.
right, exactly. Yeah, we both been saying this. It was kind of one of those like,
Yeah.
okay, one of two things: either Kevin Feige has a bug in my house, or I should be running Marvel because I had that shit figured out 2 years before he did.
Well, it
So-
wasn't him. It was Disney.
Of course.
Because that happened right when the Disney merger came through,
No,
and
that-
they had an unlimited budget to go off the wall, and they actually went
And-
with their budget, and they're like, then they realized we can't keep track of all of these projects,
Yeah.
which
No, and that's true, and that has been
Yeah.
Disney's MO. I remember that was like that used to be what the Disney Channel back in the day was for. Is they just basically pumped out as much garbage
wait,
as they
hard
could.
hard shift. Did you see the Superman movie,
Not yet.
dude? That's
I'm on.
All
I
right.
got plans to see it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. It's a whole thing. Part of it has to do with
you want to see it with your kid or something?
I would, but that doesn't seem likely. There's not a visit planned in the near future, and also it kind of has to do with it's one of those like I do have a lot of stuff I'm working on, and I would feel weird treating myself if I haven't finished something first. It's an issue.
My God, you and I are the opposite person.
Look, it's only because it's like this.
Well,
It's
no,
like
no, no,
the
no.
whole.
But the reason I say
Yeah.
that is because you treat yourself all the time with daily distractions and stuff like that, but you don't treat yourself to a big distraction where I will not allow myself a damn thing, and I have to force myself to have such a big distraction and take me all the way away from my computer that I can't do this.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No.
God, you're lucky.
I wish I was closer to you because I might actually get shit done.
Well, yeah,
You know?
but you're healthier. Doc, look at me. I'm dying. These black circles around my eyes. Yes, I'm very used to a shadow because of my frickin' caveman brow ridge, but the actual dark circles under my eyes, no, I mean, okay, no, like that might have to do with the ash and the smoke from fighting yesterday.
Have you showered since you last fought a fire, Brad?
Yeah, of course I didn't wash my hair, but yeah, of course I showered.
Okay.
I mean, it was
What a
like,
thing to ask someone. Like, what have you done since you fought a fire, young man?
I ate a taco, showered, and went to bed. A burrito, actually. I got to be fair to myself. I had a big fat ass burrito dripping with grease, and it sent me into a wonderful dreamland.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, that's
All right.
appropriate.
So, jumping into it, the Count of Monte Cristo starring Jim Caviezel and Guy Pearce. My God, one of my all-time favorite movies. Again, okay, so when I was younger, I would watch this movie every single night to fall asleep to until Pirates of the Caribbean came out. Then I watched that one every single night to fall asleep to because that I don't know, the music
I can
and the
see.
sword fighting,
Yeah,
it just puts me to sleep. I
I
don't
can
know
see how
why
that
metal
translates. Yeah,
clanging gets me.
it's interesting. Yes,
But you know what? That actually, it's really funny because do you know everything wrong with and everything great about like the YouTube channel?
I've heard of them. Yes, I think you've shown me a couple of them. Yeah.
Okay. I fall asleep to the hour-long videos of that because every time they do that and they hit a sin, they go ding, and it has like a little thing like that. And that ding every few seconds for some reason puts me to sleep.
Wow, that would have the opposite effect on me.
You would think there is no justifiable reason. If I hear a fire alarm, if I hear any beep or anything like that, I will
Hmm.
seek it out and destroy it. But for some reason, that lullabies me.
Mm.
It might be this. It might be the swords. I don't know, but I really want to. I mean, the Count of Monte Cristo, Doc. I know you said obviously the formula of the show. You hadn't seen it. What was
Hmm.
the reason that you skipped this one? I'm curious.
I think it was just lack of opportunity for the most part. I'm trying to remember at the time that it came out. I think I was like a new father at the time, so I wasn't seeing a lot of movies.
Well, that
And
makes
so it
sense.
just kind of like never really got around to it. It wasn't high on my list, because I kind of like, I had already seen like a dozen uh, uh, Three Musketeers movies up to that point. It seemed like they were coming out with a new Three Musketeers every other year, and I was like, oh, do I really need to see this again? And that was kind of my feeling. So even though, yeah, it looked okay, it wasn't high on my list, and so when I was getting very picky about what I was going to spend my time on because the kids got to get to bed. There's
No,
it
that
just
makes
kind of
sense. I
fell
mean, it
it
is
fell
by
through the
the same
cracks.
author, so
Right.
I could see I could see how that would connect with you. But also, what
Yeah.
a great run that was for the descendants of Dumas. Wait,
Right.
no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think copyright laws actually stuck out throughout time on that one, did they?
That's a good question. Yeah, yeah. And that
For like basically ancient work.
well, I mean, it's supposed to be yeah. How old is it? That's the good question because from
150 years.
150 years. Okay. So, yeah, maybe that was it, is that they had just gone public and that was why they were getting so many adaptations, is because I think it's supposed to be like the death of the author plus 100 years is when these things go public domain. So, it could be that's why we were getting so many of the Three
Uh,
Musketeers, is because the 100
wow,
years has
actually,
passed.
yeah, 1846. So this movie was released about 160 years after release. No, that was after it was written. Sorry, when did
Yeah,
Dumas die? That's what I should.
when did Dumas die? Yeah.
1895.
1895. Almost exactly 100 years. So yeah, that's probably it. That's probably why we were getting all those Three Musketeers and other Dumas works, is because they had all just entered public domain. And so everyone was going, yeah, fuck the Dumas family. Let's do this now.
I really hope that's not what they were saying because thank you,
Yeah.
Dumas. I mean, just whatever afterlife you are in, just thank you.
Mhm.
Two of my favorite stories of all time. I should check out more Dumas works if like because the Three Musketeers, that was the first. Yeah, you can't call it an adult book or a mature book. I swear, perverts have ruined everything.
Yeah. Yep.
How do you describe? Because you can't say mature either. Like
I believe if I recall my online writer discussions, the word that you're looking for is contemporary adult.
contemporary adult.
Yes, that's what you
Give it
call
5 years. That's gonna be fancy porn.
Challenge accepted.
Oh God. No, but when I was 10 years old, I read Three Musketeers, and when I was 15, I read The Count of Monte Cristo, and after that, I just became obsessed with detective and thriller. And
Mhm.
I'm after the Count of Monte Cristo, I'm kind of getting it. That's one of the
No,
best
yeah.
ones.
No, yeah.
So
Well, it definitely made me want to read the book. Yeah, 'cause,
I was just about to bring that up. Have you ordered it yet?
I have not. No. I am still in the middle of working through the audiobooks I already have. I am
Sure.
forcing myself to not buy any more until I finish those. And so,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Did you read any more of mine?
little bits. It
Cool.
didn't go well. The last time the last time to sit and quietly read while I was waiting for a play to start. Since the last time I was at that venue, the sun had shifted. So our usual spot meant the sun was reflecting right off my screen into my face. So I
Yeah,
couldn't
not
actually
conducive
read.
to.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Or
I can get that. No, that was like way out of topic. I
yeah.
forgot to ask before the show. Um. Okay. Because my brain is frazzled, I'm taking the cheat sheet.
Okay. Oh, you're doing that? Oh, that cheat sheet. Ah, Brad.
Yeah. Okay. The
Ugh.
Count of Monte Cristo. A young man falsely imprisoned by his jealous friend escapes and uses a hidden treasure to exact his revenge. I would say that perfectly describes that.
Yes, and let's talk about that jealousy because okay, I know we're gonna, it's about the movies and it's about all this, but I want to go into the brilliance of the psychology of our villain here. A level of, again, all credit to Dumas and the fact that they were able to accurately
Jumping ahead, summed up in the whistle speech, right?
the whistle speech.
When when Edmund was a boy, he got a whistle, and
Oh, right.
yeah, when
I don't remember that whole thing.
Was a kid, he got a pony, but Edmund was so much happier with the whistle than he was with his pony, so Edmund gave him the whistle. Like I feel in my mind that was the movie.
Yes, no, that is very well sums it up. Yes, for sure. It's that idea of that sort of like someone who has everything, who has no reason to be jealous of anyone for anything, but by the very simple nature of the fact that that guy appears to be more happy than you, that's all it takes. That's all it takes for you to just want to take him apart. And it kind of goes for, there's all, the misery loves company, hurt people kind of thing. Like we've got all sorts of platitudes and sayings for that. But the fact that, 140 years ago, Dumas just touched on this well enough to create a believable villain who destroys his best friend's life over no reason other than I don't like that you, a working class loser, are just content with your life. You're supposed to be miserable because I'm better than you. And you're not, and that makes me so mad.
And he even says the line in the movie, because you're the son of a fisherman, and I'm not supposed to want to be you.
Yeah, exactly, yes. And we see that, one could say Felicia. We could see that playing out. We could see that playing out all the time. I mean, like, I'm like 90% sure that's Mitch McConnell's entire thing. Like, his whole thing is that he's just mad that there are people out in the world that are happier than him, and that's why he does what he does.
That is a very believable statement. I think there are a lot of politicians who have entered the political sphere for exactly that reason.
For sure, yeah.
Stephen Miller.
Oh, good Lord.
Is anybody going to argue me on that one?
Nah. No, for sure. For sure.
Even his supporters are not going to argue me on that one. Like, I know we try to avoid politics and everything like that on the show. I mean, we talk about it a little bit with how it goes, but we try to avoid it. But that dude is out for vengeance.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay. No, the things I was about to say. Nah. The Count of Monte Cristo, amazing movie.
But yes,
jumps in on the Napoleonic era.
Yep, and we start off like you usually when you have a random nobody character meet a grand historic figure like Napoleon Bonaparte, that's like the climax of the movie. This was the start of it. This was the inciting act that actually gets the story. We would have had no story if he hadn't accidentally run into Napoleon Bonaparte.
Which I really think it was a fantastic decision on the filmmakers, by the filmmakers, to
Mhm.
include going to the island of Elba. That was not in the book. In the book, they
Oh,
actually, like, it starts. I'm pretty sure it starts. It may have been on the ship for a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it starts at arriving at Marseille.
okay. And they just kind of like, okay.
And well, as they were going through, like where the first mate is like, the captain fell ill and Dantes disobeyed my orders. Like that's basically where the book
Okay.
starts.
So, okay, I see what you're saying. And so they kind of like that whole beginning that we saw is more of an exposition in the book as he's like
Yes.
clearing his name. Okay.
Yeah, so we know, so like the audience knows exactly that Dantes is actually innocent, and that's how we're going into the movie. I think that's better than, because I think the book kind of makes you question Dantes a little bit, but
Okay.
no, the movie does not. And good Lord, Jim Caviezel, like I felt so bad for him. Like he played like as a young character, he played wide-eyed, hopeful, in love, happy, all these things.
Yeah.
And when we saw him as an older character, it was very believable that no, he wasn't.
Right. Yep.
Like
No, it
that
was it was a
that
very it was a
twist,
great transition. Yeah.
very much so. Right off the bat, I mean, to say what my okay, I'm just my favorite parts of this movie is not fair. It's the movie.
Right.
I mean, like, because as you go through it, going to the prison island. Oh my god! Like, oh
Yeah.
my god! Like every single second of that I loved. The old mentor that went on to play Dumbledore. I
Right.
loved every second he was on screen and every
Mm-hmm.
moment he opened his mouth.
No,
Uh,
yeah.
the escape. Luis Guzman!
Luis Guzman. And boy, and
Oh,
we did when we were watching it, we commented that about how every time he was on screen, he stole the scene.
oh,
Like
still
they had,
every. But the guy who played Louis Vampa, he
mm-hmm.
also was a scene stealer.
Yep.
Like, okay, there you go. The old man, Louis Vampa, like Guzman. What was Guzman's name in this? Not
I don't
Zatata.
I don't
Uh,
remember.
Zapato.
As in Spanish for shoe?
Okay, so definitely not that.
Yeah.
Well, no, it could
Yeah, I
be
don't.
because
It could be. Yeah.
the other one was named after Driftwood.
Right. Yeah. That's good. I don't remember. I actually don't remember anyone's name in this movie. Everyone was all. They were all very, very foreign names that I did not like manage to implant. So they were
Okay,
all just
all
like
right,
our main guy, our bad guy,
all
and
right, fair enough.
Napoleon.
I'll do my best to keep this all straight. This is gonna be tough. But I mean, yeah, no, the old man in the prison stole the show whenever he was on screen.
Yep.
The prison warden, the guy,
Oh yeah.
I can't even. It would take a lot of me like screaming into a pillow to like replicate that guy's voice. And my God, what a voice he has!
No, for sure.
Like, I mean, like doing the voiceover work, that is how you reach certain characters at certain times. Like,
by,
no,
by
like
deliberately injuring yourself and
absolutely.
shortening your career.
Whoa. It's what you do at the beginning of your career until you learn how to access that. But no,
Gotcha. Okay.
like up to like certain characters, I have to sit there with a warm glass of brandy. Certain characters, I have a block of Velveeta cheese that I take a bite out of just so I can have that like coating in my throat to be that kind of character. Like, no, there are tricks, man,
So
and you gotta
yeah, no,
learn them.
everything you're saying, it's just what you're saying is reminding me of an old Kids in the Hall sketch. So it's not you.
Oh,
It's
really?
yeah.
Okay. One of the earliest appearances of Henry Cavill as Albert Mondego.
Mhm.
And I personally think he stole the show every time he was on screen, and he didn't even have to talk. Like his sense of wonder for that character at the birthday party, um, when that beautiful woman was luring him into the catacombs.
Yeah. Yep. No,
The
yeah,
whole
we totally believed that he was a lovesick, dumb teenager who would follow any pair of tits that where it would go. Yeah, and like
yes,
I've been there, and I was like, oh yeah, that was me right there. I get it. Yeah,
yeah. As much as I want to say no, I was smarter than that as a teen. Nope. As soon as I say teenager, no, I was not.
yeah,
No, and this
no,
boy was on his 15th birthday. Are you kidding me? You could have told me you were going to
right,
murder me and I still would have followed. Like
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
that is what
I'm
it is to
okay.
be a
Yeah,
teen boy. Like I'm like it just is dumb. Dumb dumb
yep.
dumb. Uh the birthday party where he gives the speech of screaming like shouting into the storm, do your worst. I
Hmm.
I defy you to pick out a favorite part of this movie, but Doc,
No, yeah.
what did you have on that?
I mean yeah, it's tough to say what a favorite part was. I mean, we are talking about what is ostensibly probably yeah, I don't want to say it's the definitive adaptation. I assume so because no one's bothered to do it since. We've had 1,000 Three
There
Musketeers.
is no. There's I was just looking this up. There is a Count of Monte Cristo that came out last year,
Oh,
and
really?
I
I did not
think
hear
it's
about this.
I think it's actually French.
Oh, okay. Well, that
So
makes
I think
sense.
that might be the definitive.
Hmm.
Oh, no, I see the word and. Oh, yes, a film by. No, it's just all the names are very French and intimidating, so I thought that it was a French film. So I'm Pierre Niney, Bastien Bouillon, An- Anais de Moustier, Anna Maria Vartomele. What the? Nope, I'm out.
Yeah, no, those are some very, very French names.
Yes,
Good
those
for
are.
them.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, good for them. Uh, no, but so I do want to check that one out, but I
but I mean,
love
yeah,
this
I mean,
one.
we're
I'm
yeah,
so
it's
loyal.
I mean, it's a tough one, yeah, because I mean, yeah, this is a grand piece of literature that has survived the test of time for a reason because it is one of the best. You easily put it in, I don't know where it would rank in world literature, but it's definitely easily in the top 10 of Western literature for sure.
Well, I mean,
Um,
I like we established this when we were doing our commentary. It is one of Mark Twain's favorite books,
that's true,
or
yeah, yep.
was.
Depends how you look at it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
uh,
100% sure how to really call that out, but no,
yeah,
I mean, one of the greatest literary minds of before our time. This
right.
is his favorite work. So I mean, where do you? I mean,
Yeah, and then
yeah,
yeah, it's like okay, are we talking about the book or the movie? Well, the movie appears to be a very very well done adaptation of a very well done piece of literature. And to all of you out there who are the purists who are just like, we'll just read the book. Get the fuck over yourself. Some of us have jobs.
you know what? But I still say that. You know what? I had somebody was out here helping me with the house like 2 days ago, and I took a break from the edit to go out and talk to him. And it's funny. Turns out he's writing a book as well. And I asked him. I was like, "Oh, really? Well, how far into it are you?" He's like, "I'm working on the outline," and I'm like, "Relatable,
Yeah. Yep.
relatable." I'm like, I wanted to give him shit, but I was like, I don't know you well enough yet.
Right.
But we were kind of like going back and forth to talk about this, but I absolutely astounded. And I was talking to him about the Count of Monte Cristo, and I was like, "Have you ever read the book?" He's like, "No, but I've heard of the movie." I was like, "Oh, you wait, oh man, you got two things to do. You got to watch the movie, then you go read the book." He's like, "Don't read the book
Yeah.
first," and I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Mm-mm. No.
No, if you read the book and then the movie comes out, chances are you don't need to go see the movie.
Right.
Like in my opinion, movies send you to go see books. Books don't really send you to go see movies because they just set you up for disappointment because
Yeah.
There's
It,
no movie I have ever seen that has exceeded my imagination.
no, for sure, yeah. It makes perfect sense to go see the movie, and if you liked the movie, go read the book because it will be basically at best be the same thing but more. At worst, something entirely different but better. And
Yeah.
that's and yeah, and that's the idea. Is the think of the movie as a giant commercial for the book that you have to pay $15 to see, but still.
although
um,
although like
but
there are certain exceptions. Like
mhm.
I personally think the movie The Prestige was better than the book it was based off of because the book had supernatural elements added into it, and the
Okay,
movie was just a well crafted thriller.
okay, I see what you're saying. Okay,
So there are certain exceptions, but where I was talking to this guy, like the conversation started with he had never read Jurassic Park until recently, and his mind was absolutely blown. And I'm like,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
See, I got lucky on that one because I read the book Jurassic Park about 3 years before the movie came out. So when I went and saw the movie, I had forgotten most of the book anyway. So I got to enjoy them both equally on that level. So
Well, I saw Jurassic Park when I was a kid, and I read The Lost World when I was in Iraq. So there was a good separation. One book that I've been meaning to read for a long time, and I gotta actually just buy it before I forget again.
hmm.
Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah, wasn't that was that a book or was that a short story? I feel like it was a short story.
I don't know if it's a short story. That's even better for me. I can knock it out in an hour.
I can't remember. I might be thinking of a different Heinlein short story. Yeah, I think he maybe had wrote a
Wait a
couple
minute,
of
that was Robert Heinlein.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Really,
yeah.
like Predestination, Robert Heinlein.
That's the guy. Yep.
I didn't
There,
realize that. Okay, you probably said that during that episode, so I'm
I think I
like
did. Yeah. I think you
discovering
had the
this all
exact same
over again.
reaction.
I'm consistent. I know.
Yeah.
No, damn, that sucks. I feel stupid now, but
Nah.
I'm still gonna read it. No, but after the catacombs, after the birthday,
Hmm.
the reveal that oh no, don't do this. Don't forget her name. Uh what was
Oh,
the love
the
interest?
the the love interest. Yeah.
I okay, you know what? I forgot Luis Guzman's name as well, so I don't actually have to feel too bad.
There you go.
All right. All right. What was your name? Oh my god. Mercedes.
That's right.
I mean, all the names that I actually remembered: Albert Mondego, Edmond Dantes, Danglars. Are you freaking kidding me? I can't pull Mercedes? Anyway, Luis Guzman's character's name was Jacopo, not Zapata.
Jacopo. Right. Jacopo. Okay.
You know what? You know what? As you know, that rhymes. I don't have to feel too bad about that either.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, how are we supposed to remember that? Because the whole time we're watching it, we're sitting there going like, what is Luis Guzman doing now? Like,
I know it's
he was
weird.
never anyone other than Luis Guzman that whole time. So,
Like that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Luis Guzman has played so many side characters that don't have like names or big names in the shows and stuff like that, but he steals the show that he became a household name even though his characters didn't.
right. Exactly.
He
Yes.
plays characters that we all hate him playing, but we still love him. How many actors have that? I don't know many people who are on board with Luis Guzman playing Gomez Adams. It
Okay. Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't.
I've heard the controversy on that one.
It doesn't fit. Like he's not even playing him with the schmarm and everything of Gomez Adams. Like it's a totally different character.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's the thing is like when you think Gomez Adams, you think Raul Julia. It's
You
really, really,
absolutely
really,
do.
it's really difficult to follow the Raul Julia show on that one. So my
Yeah.
assumption is that they decided we'll just go the complete other direction and get Luis Guzman.
And I get that. I understand that. I do. I see it. I get it.
Hmm.
Should not have had that parents in the show.
Didn't
That would
even
have.
watch it.
I haven't seen it either. But it. Well, no. I did. I watched the pilot, and I watched
Hmm.
Gomez and Morticia in the car talking, and I was like,
See, I was half and half
you
about it the whole
making
time.
me question Luis Guzman means you really did a bad job.
That's the thing, you know. It's like it's Tim Burton. I'm kind of sick of Tim Burton's shit. I have been for a
Oh, dude,
while.
I have been for so long. Tim Burton,
um,
I have not understood the obsession with Tim Burton. Um,
that's the thing.
yeah.
It's like I kind of get it. Like, yeah, I liked the first Beetlejuice movie. Yes, I've enjoyed
Yes.
his. But that's the thing is like after a while, I'm like
Batman Returns, Beetlejuice. That's where Tim Burton like ends for me pretty
Edward
much, I think.
Scissorhands was pretty good too. It
Oh,
wasn't his
oh
best
yeah,
work, but it was pretty good. You know.
yeah,
But
but that
that's
was
the thing is like
that was so pretty.
yeah.
Like that was different. Like
It was basically Nightmare Before Christmas. That's where he lost me. I went and saw Nightmare Before Christmas in the theater, and the whole time I'm sitting here going like, I've seen all of this. Oh God, this is so boring. Like I
no,
was bored. It ruined a date. I was on a first date with a girl, and it ruined the
ooh.
date, and we never went on a second date because that movie was so bad, was so boring.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch. You know what? Here's the thing why I kept giving Tim Burton so many more chances. And it's a
Mm,
scene from Batman Returns, and it's when Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer are dancing, and they are slowly coming to the realization that one another is Batman and Catwoman. It is a
that was a
single
good scene.
take, and it like
That was
oh
a
my
good
god!
scene. That
Going
yeah.
back and watching that scene as an adult, a trained performer, an actor, like somebody who understands behind the scenes and what it takes to make a moment,
Right.
and then watching two professional grade actors really just not the crush, destroy. What my god! That scene was so much better than entire movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
you could take the rest of Tim Burton's movies, put them all together, and I don't think you can find a single scene that would offer 2 seconds of what you got in that one.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like,
But yeah,
if you think I'm
really,
overselling that, I just
no, no, no.
no, the audience.
Oh,
If you guys think I am overselling this, you have not seen Batman Returns recently enough.
granted, that's a tough sell because there's a lot about that movie that's cringy. But no,
But that's
he's
part of the
right.
fun.
That scene was art. That's for sure. Um, but yeah, no, what really got me was when I like the last thing that tipped me off, and I was kind of like half and half, like because I do like the Addams Family, you know that whole thing. I kind of wanted to give it a shot. I'm like, it's been a while since I've watched a Tim Burton thing because I've been so annoyed. Maybe it's not so bad this time around. But then Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester, fuck you, no.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it didn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let me just I'm gonna get back to the Count of Monte Cristo, but just the last thing on Wednesday Adams. Here's how much they didn't get the character. The whole premise of the show, as I understand it, is
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday Adams was trying to stop something that was murdering children. That is like Wednesday Adams would be the one plotting that.
Right. Yeah. No.
This show
And there were
was not like they just went with familiar names of characters, but this show was not the Adams family or any of the characters.
and that's what it sounds like. Yeah. Like with like the little bits and pieces that I've heard, it sounds like it like everybody's very much against what is supposed to be their characters of being, supporting parents and accepting of everyone's strangeness. Like the entire plot of this show sounded like was about trying to get Wednesday to stop being so weird. And it's like,
yeah,
but that's the Adams family. That's
like I
their
said,
whole thing.
I watched the pilot. I caught this from other people's conversations and all this, and set
Mhm.
aside from that, when it came to that type of show, it took about 5 minutes for me to go, It's for a different generation. This is not one that's for me. That's okay. I don't need to watch it.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
But the Addams Family was my generation. That was
Right.
mine. That's
Yep.
what like, and like going right back to like Doctor Who and stuff like that. Like you have your familiarity, you have tradition, you have your stuff like that. You got that. When you see it become something else, or like, or you see like any kind of change, like I
Right.
understand that change is good, but here's the thing: change in our entertainment is the thing that stops people from watching it because that is our escape from the constant change of life. That we're trying to get away from everything changing and get some security and stabilization on something, and we just
Right.
want to be in that. And that you like the entertainment industry has to market to those groups as well because that is a
Well,
huge reason why so many people even watch anything.
no, that's true. That's very fair, and I get that. But that's kind of like also the same time that's kind of baked into
But
Doctor Who
there's
because
a final thing on that.
okay, okay,
Put your like, and we talk about this. Put your message where it's not slapping people in their face. Have
oh
it
yeah,
in the movie, but have it be just so pivotal and just like the character. Like this is what the character is, but the character never fucking says it.
oh sure, yeah, yeah. I
Like
see what you're saying. Yeah,
that's
like have the lesson be there without we don't need we're adults now. We don't need that teaser at the end of the cartoon that goes like and knowing is half the battle. Like we've outgrown that. We can move on from that. I see what you're saying. Yes.
yeah. It's where I go into. It's where I okay. I'm watching something. I hear the F word every like third sentence or something like that. I'm seeing boobs. I'm seeing butt. But I'm also listening to dialogue that is so juvenile. It feels like it is meant to be delivered to like 9-year-olds to make them
Right.
understand what's going on in the story. It's like something is not meshing here. You guys did not do a good job.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
I feel like I'm losing interest in this because I feel like my nephew should
No.
be watching this. But then boobs and
No.
the
Yeah.
F word and all this. My nephew should
No.
not be watching this. It's a weird era, man.
I remember thinking that back like years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what was I like? I think I was like 16, 15, 16 years old. And
Really?
I managed to
was it?
sneak into they were comic books. I managed to sneak into the back room of the comic book store where all the adult comics were with all the nudity and the sex in them. And I remember sitting there going like, why do the stories suck? Why do like these are the adult comics. Why do they read like they've been written for 4-year-olds? Like this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like why like what's going on?
I'm gonna tell on myself here. I didn't know that there was that section of the comic book store.
Not all comic book stores had it. You had to go to the neighborhood comic book store.
If this is a
Yeah.
Portland comic book store, I completely understand. But I'm telling you right now, I don't think I ever went to a comic book store when I was a kid. It was just the
No,
comic
yeah.
rack at the gas station.
Right, yeah. No, back in the late 80s, early 90s. So I guess that would make me younger than 15. I must have been even younger. But yeah, no, most comic book stores were not like stores. They were more like a guy's garage.
Oh, man, you just
Yeah.
like I feel like you were in so much more danger than you like realize with the story you told. Like, man, there was a guy that lived down the street from me. He had all these awesome porn books in the back room of his garage. All I had to do was like tell him that my parents didn't know where I was. Like, it was awesome. Like,
No, he was on the way from school. I would pass
Good
by it on the
God!
way home from school, so I would stop in.
Doc, I'm telling you, your friend that went missing, I know where he's at. All right, I know where the body's buried. My God. Like, yeah, no. How did we survive the 80s? Like, it's funny. It's funny. Like, it's like this. I'm gonna have to check with some people if I can tell this story. But I was actually kidnapped when I was a kid, and no, this is not a joke. I was kidnapped. I'm gonna like the most minor details.
Okay.
Dude came over, took my babysitter's head, rammed it into the side of his truck after he told me to go like grab my clothes because like he was friends with my mom and like he was trying to impress my mom and all this stuff. So I
Did you
was like,
know this guy, or was
yeah,
this like the
no,
first
like
time?
I knew
Okay.
him. Like we were supposed to go out to the lake that weekend and all this stuff, but something didn't go right. And like mom was like, okay, well, my son's not leaving town with you. So he
Okay.
came over and kidnapped me.
Wow. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
not
I'd call
that.
that a red flag.
Oh yeah, I would say so. I mean, like, actually, you know what? Not even that. Like, no, I don't need anybody's permission. This guy like takes me over to his house and stuff like that. People are out searching for me and all that. They like come over and like he's like, we're playing hide and seek, so just hide here and just make sure no. And I'm like, you got it, dude. So
Wow.
like the people in my
Wow.
life are like 10 feet away from me, calling for me, searching for me, like freaking out,
Right.
and I'm just like, like playing a game. Yeah,
How
no,
old were you again?
at this point I think 7 or 8,
Okay. Okay.
and they left. But for like this whole time, I'm doing nothing but watching Guns N' Roses music videos, watching Daria and Beavis and Butthead. Like the whole time, like everybody's freaking out, looking for me, all this stuff, and like no, I was perfectly fine.
Wow. Yeah.
I,
How
I
long? How
wound,
long did he hold on to you?
he's sobered up, and he's like, oh shit. That's pretty much how that went.
Okay.
And like it was so nonchalant in my family that this same dude drove by me 5 years later, like 5 or 6 years later, as I'm walking home from school, offers me a ride, and I'm like, dude, no.
Right.
And like I got home, I told my mom, I was like, he offered me a ride. She's like, honestly, that would have been fine. Like he's like, he's not a bad guy. I'm like, he kidnapped your son.
Right. Yeah.
What how worthless am I? Like, but no, like I was looking at it like a kid, she was looking at it as an adult, and it's like, no, this guy didn't do anything bad, anything like that. He
Comparatively speaking, yeah.
yeah, he basically abducted me to take me to the lake and have a good time with me to show my, but he was drunk, and that was how he got to that level of logic.
Right.
But as soon as he like got sober enough to go, oh boy.
Right. Yeah.
No. So even
Man.
as an adult, I could never see myself being in that position, but I can kind of understand it.
You know, I gotta say, there have been. I can probably count on my hands the number of times that I have truly tied one on. I have never sobered up and looked around and went, oh shit, where did that kid come from? That's never happened to me.
I might be able to count the amount of times that I have been way too drunk by the I don't know, rocks in my driveway. I don't know. I am not you, dude. I went way too far for a couple of years. Like I got back from Iraq and I was like, I don't think I want to be sober this month.
No, sure, yeah.
Next month came, I was like, I don't think I want to be sober this month either. Like,
sure. Yeah.
but weirdly, I was one of the first ones to kind of like draw that back. We were
Okay.
all, like me and like 10 of my guys. We were all out at the bar, and they went around the table, or like everybody ordered a drink. They got to me, and I was like, "Can I just have a water?" One of my guys looked at me and went, "Dude, are you okay?" Like the level of concern in his
Right.
eyes and everything. I was like, ask
See-
me that about something else, man. This is
Right.
literally the healthiest thing I've done this summer.
Right, yeah. No, see, for me it was mainly like by the time I got to the point where I was of legal drinking age, I had become so annoyed by drunk people I decided to stop and just
Ah,
and
see,
it
I
didn't get any better.
I didn't do a lot of the teen partying thing.
Mm,
I showed up to a couple parties when I was in high school, and I saw like my classmates and like the valedictorian and like the goody two shoe, all this stuff. They're over there getting sloppy drunk and hitting on dudes from the next town. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm moving. I'm going to that town, and I'm going to be one of the guys that you flirt with. What the
Right.
hell is going on here?
Yep.
No, but
No,
yeah. Go ahead.
no, my first ever big drunken mistake was I think I was 19 at the time, and yeah, I'm still living that one down. Actually,
I'm actually really surprised that none of my drunken mistakes actually led me into a story like Romancing the Stone. I'm lucky I didn't grow up closer to the southern border, man. Just plain and simple.
There you go. Yeah.
I would have gone missing as a teenager. I would have been upset. I've been depressed, something like that, and I'd just be like, you know what? I'm a jungle person. I'm out. And I would have been close enough. I could have pulled that off. I would have been eaten by something very, very quickly, I'm sure.
Right.
But I would have done it.
There wasn't a lot of that in Romancing the Stone. There was a snake, but nothing else. Like there wasn't a lot of well, no, okay, no, there was alligators, I guess, but they were caged, so they don't count.
Before we get to Romancing the Stone, Doc,
Yeah.
I gotta know. Give me 3 favorite parts of Count of Monte Cristo. I mean,
3 favorite parts.
There's no way I can ask you to narrow that down.
It's a tough one. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is it kind of was from like every scene was I mean, yeah. I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna ask you your three favorite parts, and which one was your favorite character, and which one was your favorite revenge. Which revenge was the sweetest? So to recap on the revenge, there was Danglars that gets kind of framed, but he actually did steal from Monte Cristo. Then there was Villefort. How am I remembering these names and I didn't get Mercedes? Seriously. Okay. Yeah, no, Villefort, he like winds up confessing in that steam room and then into the carriage with the gun that isn't actually loaded, and that line, you didn't think I'd make it that easy, did you?
Yeah, I was gonna when you asked, that was the first one that came to mind, was that sort of like was that whole bit where he's confessed, he's caught, and then he's even given the opportunity to take the quote unquote the gentleman's way out. But then it turns out, no, that was a fake out. That was just an added humiliation of like, I know how bad I got you now. And now.
And then there was Kings to You, Fernand. When when Edmund comes back. Like those 3. Oh, delicious. So good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the second one as my favorite revenge on that one, I think. Cause yeah, that one felt the most complete. Because like, yeah, technically the guy Pierce, he was the main villain, he was the main target. We actually see him die at the end. Spoilers. 140-year-old spoiler.
Right. Oh no, that's 160 years old.
100,
yeah,
right?
No, no, we're over 150. 140, they're towing the line.
But yeah, no, even that one kind of had the whole, like, that one wasn't quite as sweet because he even still kind of like died defiantly. He still even kind of went out going like, fuck you too. Like he didn't, like he wasn't gotten all the way. He was taken out, but he wasn't defeated, but the other guy, the politician guy, the one who tried to take
Danglars and Villefort, they were just flat out defeated. But Mondego actually put up a good fight, and there was a good climactic battle. So it wasn't, but it was also more okay. But see, here's the thing, though. Dantes got his wife, his son, his money, his estates. He got everything. And there was that moment where Mondego is riding away on the horse, and he looks into the empty field of nothing but grass and nothing ahead, and he looks back to see, yes, it's in ruin, but it's a castle, and the family is there and all that, and he's like, there's nothing, and he's getting it all. I think the complete demolition of Mondego, his life, his character, his legacy, and everything, that was just but the climax of the revenge for Villefort was definitely the sweetest.
Yeah.
But I think the revenge on Mondego was the best.
Okay, all right.
But I'm not battling you on that one. I just wanted to know what yours was.
No, yeah,
So
I'm definitely going with that guy, with the politician guy, because yeah, I think between the three of them, he was the one who came away the most clearly and obviously defeated, and I liked that.
I want to know what prison Danglars and Villefort wound up at, because Dantes bought that island prison at the end. So I just kind of want to imagine that every year on their anniversary, our redeemed character Dantes still goes down with a whip. Like,
maybe that's a good question. That's a good question.
We got no answer.
Well, that whole prison thing too. I think I remember, even saying, like, when we were watching it, like that whole thing where he's like in the prison and stuff. I'm like, this is what Batman's origin story should have been. Like
I think you said
like
that. Yeah,
like that was I would probably call that one of my favorite parts. I don't know if it's my favorite part, but because it's kind of more of like a chapter of the movie. That's less a scene and more of an act of the story.
True.
I think actually no, my favorite moment, because that was like, because we did comment on it when it happened, was when the reveal happens that we find out that young Henry Cavill is actually Caviezel's son, and we see that whole, like, everyone in the room
kills it.
Yeah, everyone in the room is kind of having a realization moment, and they're all just kind of like, wait, is this true? Is it? And then we have a single cutaway to just Luis Guzman. And Luis Guzman, just one single frame. We go from a full shot of everybody but Guzman to a cut of a single frame of Guzman doing the whole, like, and it was so gold. It was so,
it was Jesus. It was that, like, moment. It's like, well, hey, man.
The dude,
like,
yeah, the dude isn't even in the same room with everyone, and he is still stealing the scene. Like,
no, that might have been my biggest laugh of the movie, for sure.
For sure, yeah. So I think I'm going to call that one my favorite moment, even though it literally has nothing to do with anything except, like, yes, Guzman. And what was the first question?
Like, favorite three parts. Yeah.
Favorite three.
So yeah, that Guzman. But here's the thing: you can almost sum the movie up into, like, Guzman's best three parts, and that's when Mercedes is coming out of bed the next morning, and he's like, "Oh, my lady," and he's like, just, like, this dude who was a pirate, actually he is a knife fighting badass. All this,
right.
And he is just, "Oh, my lady," like, that's so goddamn funny.
Yep.
When they find the gold and he is like kissing the boat and all, is like, woohoo, like, all the noise and all that is like, you are wealthier than any man I have ever heard of. And then he's like,
right,
like, what do you want to buy? Revenge. Okay, so I'll go to Paris. Bang, 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 bang. I kill these people. Where is the problem? I mean, dude.
Yeah,
that,
like, Guzman, he, like, that's the thing, is, like, he's kind of the voice of reason in this. He's like, look, dude, you have nothing to worry about. You literally have it all now. You've got all the money in the world. You know, like, you don't need to be obsessed with. You can be obsessed with miniature train sets now. You have the money.
No, no. You know what? I think that is my favorite Guzman moment. Is, like, just immediately after that bang, 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 bang. Where is the problem here? Like,
right, exactly, yeah.
That one bit was so good. But it was like Guzman was in his own movie. He never
really was.
He never distracted from the Count of Monte Cristo, but he didn't fully fit the tone of any scene. It's like, this guy he needs to be here. Thank God he's here, but man, he is not like any character in this movie.
Yeah, well, and I think that's kind of because we saw that a lot, especially in the 90s, where they would have, like, the very serious movie, and then they go, like, well, this movie's too serious. We need to have like a comic relief character. We need to get Rob Schneider in here, or just be the funny guy while all of the serious stuff is going on. And 8 times out of 10, that guy ruins the movie. Guzman did
Just
not.
didn't. No.
Guzman found that balance perfectly, you know? And
And I
so,
mean, the filmmakers knew how to use him. He knew
mhm,
how to deliver,
yep.
and just I mean, Guzman is a fantastic actor that he has been in some of the greatest movies, but he really hasn't been given the lines to carry the greatest movies. He's just helped all of them along.
No, yeah, he really does. Yeah. No, he's like a great person to have there to play off of. Like if you're cast in a movie and you're like a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I've been cast opposite of Judi Dench. This is going to be so weighty. I've got to make sure I carry my own." If you're cast opposite of Guzman, you're like, "Fuck, this is going to be easy. He's going to carry me."
Oh my god, if I was ever cast opposite of Guzman, I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm going to have so much fun."
Right, yeah, exactly.
I am going to mention the cowboy way on day one. And if you know, you know. And yes, that was Luis Guzman in that scene. Have you seen that movie? I can't
I
remember.
have not seen the Cowboy Way,
Oh,
no.
God, we're so watching that. And yeah, you're going to hate it and you're going to love it at the same time. You're not going to know what to feel. It's going to bug you. Kiefer Sutherland, Woody Harrelson, Dylan McDermott. Dude, oh, we are going to
This is a
have
good cast.
Yeah, and Louise Guzman. I mean, dude, we're gonna have fun with this one. It's gonna be cringy, and it's gonna be romancing the stone in New York City, is what it's gonna be.
Okay, all right, cool, all right,
Like,
I'm down.
that's how I'm pitching that. But two cowboys.
And the jungle is made of concrete. Yes, we
There you
yes.
go.
Also its own genre, the concrete jungle genre.
So
Yes.
the thing that sent us into covering the Count of Monte Cristo was we watched The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and we saw Guy Pearce still playing the role of Felicia. Now
Yep.
going from Felicia right over to it was like Felicia, Memento, The Count of Monte Cristo. Like
Yeah.
to look at that
Leaps and
progression.
bounds. Yeah.
This dude, if you just went and watched those three movies, you would understand the fact that if you watch The Count of Monte Cristo, you understand why Guy Pearce has a career.
For sure, yes. But yeah, when you see that range of just how polar opposites, I mean, it is genuinely difficult to believe. Even though we're talking no makeup, he doesn't even change his hair. He's got the same haircut in both movies. But
Actually, yeah.
yeah, like, The Count of Monte Cristo and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, you barely recognize that this is the same guy, even though it is clearly the same guy.
All the way, only up until there was a moment that Felicia stood out in The Count of Monte Cristo, and it was when Mercedes confronts Mondego after he had that morning duel and killed that guy because he was hooking up with that guy's wife.
Right, that's right, yeah.
And he's like sitting
Jesus.
he's sitting on the ledge. He's like, "Oh, it's kind of liberating, isn't it? That I don't have to hide my affairs from you." It's like, "Oh, that's Felicia."
Right.
I saw it all over.
That was some yeah, that, for a French aristocrat, you sure are a bitchy Australian queen. Like
I see the similarities.
yeah.
The powdered wigs, the makeup, like
Sure.
all these things. No, I see it.
Yep.
Oh, I see too many similarities in there. And I don't really feel bad about dogging on any kind of aristocrat of any country.
No, that's for sure. Yeah.
Like
That's punching up. That is 100% punching
I
up.
was just about to say, you know what? Like this whole theme over comedy, you don't want to punch down and everything like that. Yeah, sure.
Right, yeah.
Make them dignitaries and I'm good.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Rich people suck in every country.
I feel like that is a global truth.
Mm-hmm.
There's not there's that one Marine activist that's a rich guy. People say he's pretty cool, but other than
Don't know
that,
what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, and Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton definitely.
Is she rich? I mean, okay, no, okay, yeah.
She's
rich.
The
Is she wealthy? I'm thinking when I say rich, on a global scale, I'm talking all the billionaires and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, and I guess that is what do you consider rich? Depending on where you grew up, that bar moves up and down constantly for sure. And yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
that's
yeah, Dolly Parton
yeah.
technically is a millionaire. She's a multimillionaire, but she is someone who could be a billionaire, but isn't because she keeps giving all her fucking money away.
Oh, I
And
can see
that's
that.
what, and that's kind of, and that's why she gets a pass.
All right. Uh, man, The Count of Monte Cristo, a 2 hour movie that honestly, when you're sitting there at the climax of the movie, you're like, I want 10 more hours.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
No, it really did. It felt short. It really did, and a lot happened in this movie. Like it was, there were no slow scenes. There were no, like, even the scenes that were toned down, like the quiet little romantic scenes at the beginning, where he's like, telling like, one day we're gonna get married, and as soon as I become a captain, like, these are the slow scenes. Even those scenes fly by because you are getting there's no filler. It's all meat. This is a meaty, heavy, character driven, high stakes story. Yes,
this
for
is a
sure.
rump roast of a movie.
100%. Yes. This is grandma's roast for sure. Yeah.
All right. You want to jump right into Romancing the Stone, or you want to take a minute?
Let me take a minute. I need to refill my drink. So yeah, let's take five.
All right. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Holy
Welcome
crap!
back.
Hey, what's up, peanut butter? Oh,
Peanut butter's back. I should be more appreciative of a returning guest. I apologize for that response. That
you definitely, man. I'm like, it's awesome having this ongoing conversation with our viewers. I love this.
I will say I was hearing somewhere about how like, and this is one of those like linguistic drifts thing we were talking before about, like, the shifting of language and stuff like that, about how now, because of streaming, the way streamers are always like, whenever they're referring to their viewers and stuff, they always like, because they're all in the chat box, they will call them chat. And so now a lot of kids nowadays, whenever they are addressing a group of people, they will, if it's in person, they will call the group of people chat. They'll be like, listen up, chat, to like the four friends in front of them. And I gotta say, I approve. Like that is
I like it too.
Yeah.
The whole this person has entered the chat thing. I really like that part of the meme. So Peanut Butter has entered the chat. And we're doing good, man, and we hope you are as well. So, Romancing the Stone.
Romancing the Stone.
A mousy romance novelist sets off for Colombia to ransom her kidnapped. This movie, I think she was. Like that was the character.
She's a little withdrawn. She's not mousy.
I don't know that the portrayal that all I know, man, is that opening scene of the movie absolutely trapped me in the movie because I was like,
that was a hell of a thing, yeah, wasn't that? Yeah.
Crap, I'm still a thirsty teenage boy.
That one was deliberate too. Like that's the thing. I was like, we're doing a scene. The opening scene is basically the final scene of a romance novel. And so all of the like, and I'm not even talking like romance movie type stuff, romance novel. Every shot in this opening scene is like the cover of a romance novel. We're talking gratuitous.
Oh, yeah. It's like, no, absolutely. Like sweaty décolletage. And,
right, exactly, yes.
The silhouetted hero up on the mountain and all the no, it was you're right, every single frame was a cover of a romance novel, but it tossed you right into the movie. This one directed by Robert Zemeckis, written by Diane Thomas, starring Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and yeah, technically Danny DeVito, but like I feel like DeVito was over marketed for this movie.
Yeah, well, and he's another one. Like we talked about how like Luis Guzman, it was like he was in a different movie. That was kind of DeVito in this movie too. Like he technically was like there was one scene where he actually played a role in the movie by like stealing the idol and forcing them to like follow him back to the the base or whatever.
He was kind of like walking exposition.
He kind of was. He was like an extra. It was like someone went like, someone somewhere went, what we got to do? We got to get Danny DeVito for this movie. Well, what will he play? Just write some new scenes for him.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I could see how that went. Like they filmed the movie and like DeVito had a cameo in it. And then they went back and inserted a bunch of shots with him just like being on a phone in another part of the scene.
Right. Yeah. It's like him improving on in a telephone booth is like most of his role in this movie.
Like that's the thing. And here's the thing. I had a good time while we were watching the movie, but I barely remember the movie.
Yeah.
Like the scene where where Douglas shows up and rescues kind of Kathleen Turner and
so, he not so much rescues as much he distracts.
Yeah, like I said, this movie felt like the proper first half of Hudson Hawk. Like
okay,
and if you've seen Hudson Hawk, you're gonna know what I'm talking about.
I did see Hudson Hawk one time a long time ago. I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, the second half of Hudson Hawk and the first half of this movie kind of thematically go well together, at least how the performances were put together. I swear to God. Hudson
Okay.
Hawk, it's like they gave up writing and they gave up filming halfway through. Like it was like an SNL skit that got way out of control.
Right. Yeah. No. Well, and this movie does. It seems like you can't tell, are they making fun of romance novels or not? Because there are times when it seems like especially in that opening, because you hear her doing the narration of the novel that she's writing, and this is clearly someone who has read a lot of romance novels and is making fun of them in that regard. But there are also weird moments where it seems to take itself way too seriously, and you're like, is this a satire or not? I can't tell.
I don't think it's a satire. I think it's a comedy romance
Okay.
because it's not like they were putting like a hat on a hat on any of the scenes,
No,
with
they really
the
weren't. Yeah.
exception. Whoa, 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 whoa! With the exception of one. There's one part of this movie that is absolutely just too ridiculous to ever be taken seriously, and it's the fact that the stone was inside of a modern Easter Bunny statue.
Yeah, which they only did because it was like because they pulled the statue out and they've been trying to figure out what this thing that the map leads to. It's some treasure, and they don't know what it is. And they finally dig it out. They open up the burlap sack it's wrapped in, and they see the ceramic, and she's like, "Oh, it's a priceless statue. This whole time it's a priceless statue." And then he turns it over, and it's a fucking trinket Easter bunny statue. No explanation. No reason why.
None,
No,
not at all.
nothing.
And that is the only satirical, like that is the satirical part of this movie, is the fact that happened.
Yeah. We have no reason to understand why. As far as we know, everyone's been looking for this thing for 100 years, and when they find it, that's what it looks like. And just to deliver that one joke of her going, "It's a priceless statue," and then it's that. And the movie did not care. The movie did not care to explain it. And frankly, I don't think we cared either until the credits rolled and you were like, "Wait a second, how did that rabbit get there?"
No, that was one of those moments for me where I'm like, okay, suspension of disbelief. No, my suspenders are not that unbelievable. Come on, get out of here. No, like that was the part that got me. But then I was like, man, this movie has not been taking itself seriously at any point. The characters have never been in any real danger. Like,
no, that's for sure. Yeah.
It was entertaining. I had fun with it, but honestly, the most memorable part of that episode is the Ben Shapiro joke.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Honestly,
that was good. That was one of your better moments. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been laughing about that off and on, like, since I was flying to Boston for a wedding, and I was laughing about that in the airport. I'm like, how is that the joke? Like, all right, so I get, like, what were your favorite parts of Romancing the Stone?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, here's the thing. It was not the movie I was planning on. Yeah, it was not the movie I was planning on bringing. It was a backup. I did have it on my list because I did want to revisit it for a couple of reasons. One, it was a movie I remembered from my childhood, not as like one of my personal favorites.
Did it hold up for you?
Kind of what I expected. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it wasn't like this was a movie that was my parents' movie. Like, it was one of those movies that my parents liked so much that if they were ever like channel surfing and it landed on this and it was on, they would stop and watch the rest of it. This was one of their movies. And that was why I remembered it, is because it had been on in my house like a few dozen times. It was never my movie. But because I remembered certain elements of it from memory, like, for instance, that opening scene. That opening scene was pretty locked in on my mind. Like, even at 7 years old, I knew what I saw and I wanted to see more. So
yeah, well, that's why that's why that was the first thing I called out. It wasn't just because it was the opening of the movie; it was the standout part of that movie.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And chasing DeVito down in a car, come on.
But yeah, and also because it was one of those, like, we're seeing kind of one of those repeated, like, no one's really kind of given this genre a name. It's still kind of in Tropeville. It hasn't quite been done enough times to be called a genre yet, but it's almost there. this genre of creators being trapped in their own creation, you know,
Oh,
romance novelists stuck in the plot of a romance novel, you know, and so on. And that was one of my first exposures to it as a kid, was this idea. And so that was kind of like, that was what I was wanting to call back on, was this sort of like early representation of these things. And just as luck would have it, it was also people trapped in the jungle that hate each other, which was what I wanted to bring in the first place. And so that's where it fit. Um, did it hold up? I mean, it wasn't any worse than I remembered. That's for sure. Like I
okay.
like at least I didn't walk away from this going like, oh wow, what did I see in that? Like, no, it was about what I expected. Um, and yeah, I guess it's just I'm a little disappointed that after this revisit, it didn't turn out to be any more significant. It wasn't like one of those things where I'm like, ah, now I understand why this movie was such a big deal in my household, because of this element and this element and this dichotomy that it created that was followed along. No, it was just a dumb, fun little romance movie that my parents happened to dig, and that was it. That's all it was.
Probably just two actors doing something a little out of their norm that
Right.
it was fun to
Exactly.
watch.
Yeah. You know, and Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, two of absolute heartthrobs of their age. Everyone was stopping to watch whatever the hell they were doing for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I get that, especially Kathleen Turner.
Mm-hmm.
No, I definitely understand the marketing, how the movie got made, everything like that. I just like I was thinking, like I don't know if I could pick a favorite part. I think I could pick a favorite cringy part.
Right. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Go with that. Sure. Yeah. Some folks like
Like
movies for their cringe. Yeah.
yeah, and no, and like some movies are fun just for the cringe factor. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have mine in Grandma's Boy.
There you go. Yep.
Like watching that dude like roll around that room making the robot noises on that thing. Like I'm sorry, that's so dumb that I'm like, oh my god, like what? Like playing the video games, just cringing over all the stereotypes over like stoners and gamers and all that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
get it. Some of those are true, and those are the ones that were the most hilarious. But a lot
Right.
of those are like, all right, that's an exaggeration, but I know what they're going for, and yeah,
Right. Yeah.
like the guy. No, we're not going back to talk about Grandma's Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like,
But
move on. You were talking about you only got into Grandma's Boy as an example. We've had enough examples now.
all right, all right. No, but like when he's fighting the alligator because he wants the gem back and all this stuff, and
Right.
then he successfully shows up at the end of the movie with all the money and stuff like that. Like, oh no, I went into the water, I fought that gator, and I
Right.
won. Like that was
Right.
like the cringy romance like
No.
ending that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, why do I
No.
love this so much?
What I
Yeah.
loved is the precursor to that, when he's trying to fight the alligator and the alligator's running away, like, no, I'm going out to sea, and he's like, no, come back here, you've got money in your belly, you know. And
Oh
then
no, I'm talking about
Kathleen
the
Tur-
whole buildup of that. Yes.
yeah, yeah, and you got Kathleen Turner like up on the dais there, like screaming for help, and he's having to decide: do I save the girl or do I kill the alligator? Save the girl, kill the, and we watch him think about it for a long time. Like a
Yeah.
long time, and then he finally decides, I'm gonna save the girl, and he goes up to save the girl, and he gets there just in time that she's already saved herself. He didn't have to do anything. He could have
Yep.
stayed and killed the alligator, and and she would have been fine. That
No, like those like that moment right there. That was probably my
yeah.
favorite moment of the movie. The bad guys didn't feel like they were enough part of the movie. I don't even know their names.
Mm.
I have no idea who they are, what their motivation was. I I thought her sister was kind of in on the bad guy stuff, like the plot
Her,
and all
yeah,
that.
her
And it turned
sister
out
was a
she
weird.
wasn't.
Yeah, her sister was a weird non-character. Like, she's the reason all of this is happening, and she doesn't seem to be saying or doing or thinking anything. She appears to be a prop more than a character.
Definitely no, like she was a story device, but they did
Mhm.
not give that device any character.
Right, yeah.
Like
Oh,
it was just damsel in distress.
our local smuggler kingpin in the small village, he was a great character. We
Oh, that yeah. Oh, I've read all of your books. Like the
right,
little
yeah.
mule. Like okay, all right, yes. The chase scene and all the oh, we lost Doc. Hold on, give it a second. I'm sure it'll be right back. It's been a bit since we've had something like that happen. Welcome back, Doc.
Hello.
It's been a
I
little bit.
burped.
We've actually we've pushed through storms and stuff, and that hasn't happened. It's been a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
So,
I'll give you
okay.
that. I'll give you that. The drug, like the small town drug kingpin who's obsessed with romance novels and knows the
Yeah.
author. I swear, every single no, we talk about tropes and genres. That is a trope in every single story that the creator inserts himself into the story. They're like, no, no, no. I have a fan out there somewhere. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
dude.
Some hyper macho Colombian drug kingpin loves me. Like reads
Yeah.
my book to all of his gunmen on
And I'm
Saturday
not gonna lie.
afternoon.
Like as a writer and stuff like that, when I catch myself in like fantasy moments and stuff like that, I could see myself like fantasizing about some rich island owner or something like that just falling in love with my book and then
Sure,
inviting
yeah.
me out for a weekend and then hunting me for sport. I could easily see that happening. Like that's
Yeah.
part of the fun of the fantasy.
I'm such a big fan. I want your head mounted on my wall. That's
Hey,
flattering.
hey, the biggest fans are always stalkers.
That's true. That is a very good point.
I Yeah. That'd be weird actually, like if you specifically, if you wound up with a billionaire fan, that would not make sense to your personality, your writing,
No,
nothing.
I would not know what
Yeah.
to do with that at all.
No, no, like you'd be like, I'm your biggest fan. You'd be like, well, I hope you have a shame kink because hanging out with me is not going to be as fun as you think.
Right, yeah. Like how did I'm like, wait a minute. Are you reading something into my stuff that I need to know about? That's
You know, I have, I mean, we're talking about a movie about a writer and like all this stuff. This kind of goes in. I've
Sure, yeah.
had this thought that if one of my stories actually does go far enough and my books do like sell enough and gets enough attention and somebody tries to analyze the book and like find some like dark message in my writing that I'm like, wait, yeah, that's how I think, but how did you figure that out?
yeah.
Like, like, like when you like writing a romance, like basically like when we like I told you like I'm not gonna write a romance novel because I don't want people to know like I am not a super private man. I do the podcast. I talk about some stories that should probably be private. Most people would be embarrassed or ashamed of and stuff like that. No, but I've got my privacy.
Sure, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
like I have my line.
And people
And,
have
yeah.
and yeah, and we never know. We think we're hiding stuff when we sit there and go like, "Wow, I'm not going to write about that. That would be too weird."
Exactly.
And then someone goes like, "Oh no, obviously he wanted to do this." And you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! How did you know? Shut up!" Like,
Exactly.
I
Like
made
I'm
a point not to write about that. How did you do that? No, one of my favorites on that was when what was it? Oh, someone was talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
Mhm.
And they were saying like probably the funniest thing about 50 Shades of Grey is that this is a book about a woman who is being like put into subjugation. It's an S&M relationship. It's like she's the sub, he's the master kind of thing. And she's like, and in the entire series, in all of these books, in all of this so-called hardcore stuff, she never sucked his dick once. She's like, that's probably the most telling thing about the whole series.
I had never. I think I saw 50 Shades of Grey. No, I did. I saw 50 Shades of Grey, and because this woman that I was dating, very short amount of time,
hmm
she like, you need to see this. I was like, okay, I will watch that if you watch Star Wars.
That's okay.
That was
All right,
that was
I've
basically
made
that
deals.
was basically the divide.
Yeah, and I've made deals like that before. Never that wide.
No, like when she told me she hadn't seen that, I was like, okay, here we go. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So she watched Star Wars. She's like, wow, that was really good. Like, and she was like going into like the details of the story and all this, and I was like, Hell
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Yeah. Good sign.
I honestly thought this was gonna suck for you for like a couple hours, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I think the next one's gonna suck for me. So hopefully this is a fun S
Yeah.
and M
Maybe.
movie.
Yeah. Like maybe you'd be pleasantly surprised as well. You know, who know? But no,
But I
I
watched the
imagine that
movie and
didn't go that way.
I told her I was like, that was dumb. That was bad. And like and she tried to like defend it and stuff. And I'm like, no, like no, you like what you like, but this
Yeah.
has 3 books, right? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay. Book 2 goes like this, and I described book 2, and then book 3 goes like this, and I described book 3, and she's like, yeah, that's basically exactly how the story goes. I'm like, yes, because this was dumb.
Right.
I can't believe
And I just
so
described
many
what
people.
dumb books do. Yeah.
Exactly. No, like there's a formula for greatness. Then there's a formula for familiarity, and I'm sorry, the familiarity is dumb.
Yeah.
I get why people go back to it. Because they know it and they want what they're familiar with. They don't want to get caught off guard. They just want to disappear into something. I understand. I'm not knocking it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is.
Right.
Like it's too simple. I can't be entertained by that.
Right.
Like if there's not epic twist, if I'm not sitting there laying in bed going, what is happening? What is going to happen? What is going to happen? And like so much so that I am fighting with, okay, I need 4 hours of sleep to operate. Can I read another half hour and then that satisfy me enough to get that 4 hours of sleep?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Okay. That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Like those are the books that I really love. The people who just, I got a minute, book. Oh, I'm out of minute. I'm like, what the fuck are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not relate to that on such a level that I swear to God, that almost makes me angry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I feel that way about people who can write that way. Like I hear about all these people who like they wrote their debut novel like while they were on the train, you know, on their phone. Like they're on their they have like a 10-minute commute on the train from home to work, and in those 10 minutes they're writing, and then they stop, and then later that day 10-minute commute back home, they're writing, and they just do that like clockwork until they've written a novel. And I'm like, go fuck yourselves.
I was actually thinking about another writer that I know. He lives in, I think he's still back in LA. He told me that 1 hour a week he meets with somebody and they write for 1 hour a week. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, and I don't let myself write outside of that hour. And I'm like, so inspiration hits and you just go, no, muse, not today. Like, what? I was like, so like you don't at all. And he's like,
I
no.
don't know
And I'm
how
like,
you can live like that.
and you've finished something?
Yeah. How long does it take? Only an hour? That's like, even at my best, an hour I'd probably get like 2,000 or 3,000 words in an hour, and I'm not a slow typer.
No,
You know?
no,
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, that if I spent all week putting together notes and planning out what I would write in that hour, I might be successful in that hour. But only sitting down for that hour to give my brain the space to do that, no, absolutely not. When my debut novel releases, I will have obsessed over it for 20, 30,000 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like, but I'm Jennifer so amazing with the encouragement that she's provided. She's like, look, some books take a couple months to write, a few weeks to edit, and that's it. This is not that kind of story. It's not just that this is not that kind of book. This is not that kind of story. It takes years to write this kind of story. This amount of research, this amount, like all these locations, doing all these things, so I don't feel as bad that I was not able to meet my goal of like releasing it after only 1 year.
Right.
Because that was March, that passed. I had to find a way to make peace with that pretty fast because I was hoping a rewrite and the edit wouldn't be that bad. I was wrong.
Mm, yeah.
I
Yeah,
never
that's
thought the
unfortunate.
edit would be harder than writing the book.
Yeah, you know what? I've found they are pretty equal. Yeah. Between the first draft and the edit, they're both about the same amount of work I've found. For sure. The
Well, no,
they
that's one of
really
those
the
things. Like, because I am a little bit one of those writers that you absolutely hate. Like, I will sit down, I'll start writing, and I can get like the sun will be coming back up, and I will be just like hanging on by a thread just because I know where the story is going, and I'm afraid to stop and forget it.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Which
and
I have gotten into that a couple times. There have been a few beautiful moments
nice.
in where I really will like go to the point where once I do manage to detach from the keyboard, I'm not actually able to make it all the way to bed. I just lay down on the floor. That and those are wonderful days. Like you wake up 12 hours later feeling like God. It is but
Oh, screw you. 12 hours later. After that, like doesn't matter. The maximum maybe six,
okay.
maybe, and
So
then
yeah,
I'm
I
just right
go
back to it.
unconscious. I'm like
I'm
90%.
jealous.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that I'm probably going to die in a house fire because I won't actually hear the smoke alarm. That's probably how I'm going to go. I will sleep through a smoke alarm.
Uh, I certainly hope not.
Oh, me too. But I mean, odds is what I'm saying. Odds are
All right,
based on prior experience of sleeping through some shit.
I'm guessing based off how it's been with me writing my first book, I'm gonna die from a heart attack because I didn't realize I haven't eaten or drinking or gotten up for 10 hours one day.
Okay, yeah, that could do it too. Yeah. Yep.
I think that's what's gonna happen to me. But honestly, I would kind of be okay with that as long as I was writing the right scene.
Mm.
Like if I died of a heart attack trying to come up with a synonym for like emerge or
It's a
something.
Yeah, well, you got to make sure you're writing on one of those cloud writers, and make sure the right people have the password to it. So you go like, all right, if I die in these conditions, go find whatever I was writing at the moment I died. That's gold. Like, make sure it gets out there, because I died for it. Make sure it gets out
Well,
there.
I've actually been thinking about stuff like that, like we're talking about writing team and everything like that,
Hmm.
co-writers, ghostwriters, any of the stuff. Uh, I have like because one of my favorite authors from childhood, Akira Toriyama.
Mm.
He passed his stuff over to Toyotaru. And so he had a writer that was working with him. And then when he died, Toyotaru just took over. I need that guy. Like,
Okay.
just like, I mean, my story, like, not for any of my side stories or any of that stuff, not to be like, you must finish for me. No, it's like, at least this one, like if I keep throwing years and years of dedication into this,
Hmm.
it's got I have to choose somebody to finish it if I don't.
Right. Right. Let me ask you something. Way off topic. Way off topic. All of a sudden, because it just occurred to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about like what you talk about, like where some of your strengths are and stuff like that, about how like you feel it's like easier to kind of like work off of something instead of just coming up with it raw. You do have the ability to come up with raw stuff, but it feels like having something to base it off of. Working with some, like if someone were to give you, like you're saying, like in the partnership, if someone could, if you had an idea, you have someone like do like a first draft, and then you can kind of like work it from there, kind of thing. Have
Yeah.
you ever considered doing fan fiction?
No.
Because that's kind of the idea. You're crafting a story off of the canvas of another IP kind of thing. Like if you got a story, but have it take place in these have it take place in the Star Wars universe. So you're working with Jedi and Sith and all that, and it's fan fiction kind of thing. There's no money in it. You kind of are stuck because of the whole thing. You're kind of stuck doing it for free, but if you build up enough of a fan base, there is a way to kind of parlay that into like, okay, what if, I got hired to write one of the side novels in the Star Wars series, you know?
Well, I no, I see where you're going for with that, but no, I've never considered that, but I also think one of my biggest weaknesses would come into play on this.
Which is
Apparently, I don't understand the characters I love.
okay.
I have been told this by multiple people where I like say like I'm talking to them like, man, I'm really hoping that this character winds up doing this and like that. They're like, that character would never do that. That is not something that they would ever do. And I'm like, but the weird thing is sometimes that's what happens with the character down the line on the story, and I'm
Right.
like, hey, I got what
Yeah.
I wanted. But I can't tell if that's a failure of the writer and
It's a
me.
good question. Yeah, it's a good question. There used to
Yeah.
be, this is funny, like, it's not around anymore, but Amazon actually did try, they made an attempt at a way to monetize fan fiction.
Oh,
I can't
really?
remember I want to say it was called like Amazon Worlds or something like that. But what they did is they basically worked it in kind of the same way that Netflix works, where they would license stuff. And what they would do is that they basically would say, like, okay, so all of you self publishers out there and stuff like that, if you come and write fan fiction for these IPs that we've bought the license for, you can go ahead and sell it. You can sell it and we'll take a cut and you take your cut just like it would on the other self-publishing platform, and it's all legal because we have purchased the license for this material. And it was around for a while, but it never really caught on for some weird reason, and I don't know
So
why.
I know in short order we're going to be doing an early interview for my upcoming book,
Mm-hmm.
but this is kind of an answer that should be in that interview, and same as that question. Uh, that's basically what Ryuki's Way is I chose different stories throughout history, different pieces of folklore and all that, and I
Mm-hmm.
put my spin on that folklore to incorporate them all into a saga.
Sure, yeah. And that is not
So
an
I've
uncommon way to go about things. Yeah.
basically been doing fan fiction over like religions and cultures and folklore the
Yeah.
world over. And that's why Jennifer was saying like this type of story is the one that takes years to write, because getting all these details correct for all these different cultures, learning the
Right.
way that somebody from Hindu culture versus Shinto culture versus European culture, like
Right.
how they
Yep.
all talk. Because what Jennifer
Yeah, and
said is she's like, this character sounds like this character that sounds like this character, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't have all the strengths yet.
right. And it's a good thing to watch out for. Yeah, I've had a lot of trouble with that too, making sure that my characters don't. Because here's the thing, like if you're relying on like if an audiobook narrator, if the only way the narrator can differentiate between your two characters is because one talks like this and the other talks like this, and otherwise they can't tell them apart, you're in trouble.
Yeah, no, I realize that, and the problem that I ran into while I was writing this, well, I mean, there's a few reasons why or how I got there. One, I'm not an educated writer. Is what it is. I have to own that until I change that.
Right. and
Uh,
and you are building, I'm watching you build on that experience over the last year. Like I like, even as of little of your book as I read, I know you have become a better writer in the last year because I've seen you evolve as the way you talk about your book.
oh well, yeah. You can only be shredded so many times before you become a topping.
Write that down. Write that
Did
down.
that make sense? Because if that made sense, yeah, put that on a shirt. No, uh, let's see. Well, and the other problem is because I am doing my own audiobook, when I am speaking as these characters, like I write their dialogue and all that, and then I speak the dialogue back and I speak it as that character, which when
Mm-hmm.
I'm in their voice, in their inflection, all of this, they are not the same character and they do not talk the same way. Like,
Right.
certain parts of words are cut off, but I don't know how to write that.
And yeah, and that is a challenge. And I've certainly seen like a lot of argument about, like, I did have one of my proofreaders many years ago. In fact, this conversation was one of the reasons why they are no longer my proofreader. Was because I had a character that, in the character, they had a very specific dialect, a very heavy accent. And I illustrated that in the writing, in the words. There's a lot of apostrophes demarking missing letters in the words because this character does not pronounce that letter. They have very slangy way of talking. And so I would spell out phonetically how they were talking. And my proofreader insisted that that was grammatically incorrect, that because this was writing and not speaking, I had to write it correctly. And so I said, I am never giving you anything ever again, you fucking fraud.
That is not a good proofreader.
No.
Kind of hands down, because where Jennifer and I were having a conversation revolving around the same issue, we were talking about how tough it is to do that without being a racist author.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Because, like, especially if you're speaking, like, if you're writing somebody from a different country and all that, they're not trying to say, like, let me ask you a question. Like,
right.
Like, that's not what they're doing. They are trying to speak English and they are trying to speak it correctly, but they're whatever it is, whether
right, yeah.
their natural language, the certain letters don't exist in that language, so it's hard on the tongue to actually pronounce them. All of those things, to actually sell that as that character and have that understood, you can't write in perfect English because it's not honest to representing what the character is, even if that character is to themselves, like, if they were writing out what they were saying, it would be perfect English.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
No, she was alluding to that, and I was like, yeah, I don't need to come across racist. And she started laughing. She's like, thank you for understanding.
Right.
Apparently this is a big conversation that, like, people have, but I gotta say, I am all the way against your proof, like, that particular proofreader. That does not make any sense.
Yeah.
No, like, I don't like that. Ugh.
Yeah. Yep. Well, like I said, that never again after that. Yep.
No, like, if the character was like, this is racist and stuff like that. No, that is an absolute legitimate conversation that a lot of authors are struggling with and don't know what to do. But that.
Yeah.
That
no.
dumb.
Like fighting over me. Like me saying, like, this person's coming, and being an IN apostrophe instead of ING, and an hour-long argument over I have to write it as G because that is, doesn't matter how they pronounce it. That's how it's spelled, and that's how it has to be in print.
No, like I'm an audiobook narrator. No, I would not give the proper performance if that's what I was reading. Right,
exactly, yes. And this is not the New York Times. This is a book about werewolves. Shut up.
No. Even in the New York Times, if somebody is quoting somebody's quoting somebody and how they talked, they actually grammatically spell it how they talked, like how it was phonetically pronounced. It's not how Webster wants you to pronounce it, like spell it out. No. Oh, wow. Man, I could see myself having a huge argument with somebody over that.
Yep.
Actually, no, I could see two things. I could see the huge argument, and I could see myself going, it was a mistake to ask you to do this. Thanks for the effort. Have a good day. Like, I could see myself going both routes, just really depending on the person. Right. Here you go. If it was one of my best friends, I would scream at them for like 5 hours about how wrong they are. But if it was just somebody who offered, like a Facebook friend that I like am just associated with that offered to do it.
Right, yeah.
No, I'd be like, I'll take that into consideration. I hope you have a good day. No, I would go full telemarketer voice on that one.
Right.
But I still want to know. back to Romancing the Stone.
Right. That's right.
All right.
We're doing a show. I forgot. All right.
No, I know. Like, this is what I'm saying. We might need to evolve the show a little bit because we are getting a little bit too comfortable in the just regular ass podcasting part of the show.
Right. Yeah.
That
yeah.
like like we might need to just change the show to, you know what? I watched this movie and here's what I loved about it. And then just that's a section of the show. But honestly, viewers, let me know what you think about that.
We do appreciate you sticking by us through all this random pointless banter. It is
apparently we're funny.
Oh,
so
hey.
That's nice.
That's good to know. All right.
No, I was reading up some of those reviews and stuff like that, and like it was talking about how we do things and like in a hilarious way, and like the way that we argue and fight. It's not actually a battle, but it's like two people who know what they're talking about. Like, I was like, dude, I am not used to reviews being so nice.
It was, it's uncomfortable to,
Like I've checked into. I'm like, these aren't real. Everything like not like somebody. I got a family member out there paying bots or something. I don't know what's going on. But no, like what people have been saying about us is like super nice. So yeah, I appreciate our viewers sticking with us too, just so they can say stuff like that, even if you're lying. I don't care.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm not going to complain for sure. I'll take it.
No.
I'll take the compliment.
I have fun with it, and it is like it's nice on the self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like these nice reviews are good because soon when I release my book, there's gonna be the other reviews.
Sure. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And
someone's gonna be mad at you for saying "goddamn" too often. They're gonna, and.
No, that's a you problem. I don't think I said that one time. I don't think I said that one time in my book, actually.
Ah, you goody two shoes.
Oh, but keep reading, dude. Nuh-uh. But no, well, because I don't have any characters that would say it.
Okay.
Like maybe Esmeralda, but I don't think you've even met her yet.
No, not yet. No. Yeah. Haven't gotten there yet.
No, maybe Esmeralda, Red, or Henley. Maybe Henley said.
Henley. Yeah, actually, I mean, he's a ship captain. He should be cursing way more than he is, actually, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, but don't say what I'm alluding to. But you know why he's not, though.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay.
Yes. No, like that is a future books message, but yeah, no, and that's the thing, like those kinds of Easter eggs are what I've been trying to drop in this first book. That you literally, like, I'm trying so hard to make it that you literally cannot see them. It blends into the story. It's too natural, everything like that. But then once you know, you will see it back there.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. And
I know that's what everybody tries, but
yeah. No, and there's a reason why, because it's rewarding when you get them. Like, you don't always get to see it. I got lucky one time because one of my exes, when I sent her a copy of one of my books to do kind of the beta reader thing, I didn't know she sent copies to her parents. Her parents also read the books.
Ooh.
And she sent me screen caps of the texts that they sent her in reaction to different parts of the books. And one of them being one of the big reveals of like, didn't see it coming, but now that I think about it, it was so obvious. That was amazing. And I'm just like, that's better than crack right there. Oh,
I can see. I've had hints of that. I've had hints because where I told you, like, I have had women in their 50s, teenage boys. Like I've spanned the demographics with my beta readers and all this. And I had the teenage boy, which was my cousin. Like, he started the book, and like at first it was a chore because I told him I would buy him the omnibus for Invincible if he actually did it.
Damn, dude.
I already had it. Like, it was, like all I had to do was ship it to him, so it was an easy enough bargain to come out on top of.
All right, all
But
right.
like he's like the first like 7 chapters, he was like, you could tell it was like homework.
Right.
Like he had some laughs, but at the end of it, like he was giving a review and all this stuff. Eventually, though, I'm getting text messages at midnight, just like, "What the hell? Like, wait, really? Is this what I think it is?" Like, all of these things, like no, like
Mm-hmm.
you're still in the section of the book where I'm doing all the setup and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Once it got to like a bunch of the payoff and like some of the scenery was getting painted for what, because yes, I know a lot of the five senses of the book, it's not there.
Mm.
There are scenes that as I was going through were too important, even in the early drafts, that I couldn't skip the five senses.
Okay. Okay.
Those are the scenes that I was getting the holy shit, like,
Right.
and it was making me happy too, because like he's like 14 years old and he's into anime and all like that, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can still I have remnants of what it was like to be that excited over these like types of things.
Right. Yeah.
And it was the coolest thing to know that I was getting hit, like the excitement was coming from me and something that I had wrote, and the story was working, and I'm like, all right, this is, and I can see where you're coming from, because
Mm-hmm.
when he was lighting me up with all those compliments, getting back to doing another draft of the book, I was like, I'm done.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
It's perfect now. I mean,
He
look at yeah.
loved it. Lost his mind. The final book, the final line of the entire book, he said he laughed his ass off for like he just kept going back and laughing the more, like, just he walked away from it and it just kept laughing.
You're
I'm like,
done. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
He's
And then I got
done.
Jennifer's notes.
Right.
And here's the thing. Like
I can see you like shirtless in your driveway with a bottle of Jack. Why God?
take away 10 years of my life, and yes, that would have been like absolute, and 10 years ago that would have been me back at Portland with a bottle of Four Roses in the middle of the gallery, just crying on the floor. No, I guarantee it, absolutely. But I know that I keep kind of talking about the edit, and I keep talking about how much Jennifer shredded all that, but I really,
Mhm.
every single like when her and I are going back and forth on emails and stuff like that, we're talking about this, I keep talking about her notes, and they are just absolutely defeating me. They are like I am like I'm struggling, I'm pushing through confusion, and just like
Right.
I'm so defeated. And she's like, "Oh my God, that's not like, I want the opposite. I don't want you to be defeated. I want to encourage you." I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm telling you, you beat the crap out of me, but I'm also saying thank you.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Because
Like,
that's what you need. That's what you needed. Yeah. And
like I have friends who paid an editor $600, $800, and that editor, like, you see a little bit on each page, and these
right.
are books that I have read and went, nuh-uh.
Right.
Like, these are books that make me feel like I'm fucking Dickens or Dumas. Like, no, like this, like if this dude's book would have been put in Jennifer's hands, I don't know there would be any black letters in the book. Okay? Like,
Yeah.
Jennifer is a true, like, hardcore professional, and what, like, and I'm thinking back to like the first chapter, like when I was going through that, and
Mm-hmm.
like day after day after day, just kept reading the notes and wondering if I should take the notes, if I should actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
And now I go back and I reread those first 2 chapters, and I'm like, man, I suck at writing. I come
No.
up with a good story, but man, getting to a finished product, I have so much work to do. I have
Yeah.
way, like, I got, luckily, and I was telling Kelly this. I feel like I've lost the love for the project
Hmm.
because I don't have love in editing.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, there's
No.
no love in editing.
And there is. Yeah. I can see that because that is kind of like I mean, that one of my books died from that. I mean, specifically from that thing because
Vampire lesbian.
yep,
Yeah.
because the editing process, I looked at it. Same thing. I got notes from Jennifer, all great notes, fantastic stuff. If I had followed her advice and took to, it probably would have been a great book. But the work required to get it there, I didn't want to do anymore because I was done with that story. And yeah, so
And here's the thing, I'm really glad that I am going as gung ho for my very first like novel, like because where you have talked about, you have put out a book and then you go back like 8 years later, you look at the book and you're like, ugh, like I don't want to be, I don't want to have that happen. I want to
mhm,
start correct, and when I look at doing book two, when I look at
right,
doing just a different book, I want to sit there and I want to know everything that is coming ahead. I want to be prepared for it because I did not mean to write a series. That
right,
was not supposed to happen. I wanted
hmm
to write a self contained story and then get back to the musician.
right.
Life happened.
Yes. Turns out you have ideas. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. And,
um,
but I mean,
yep.
but that defeat is absolute real. But
But
I think like the aspect of working on this and another book at the same time, because
mhm,
the edit is hard. Writing and creating and just coming up with the story, that's, yeah, it's challenging, but I wouldn't call it hard.
right. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
Go ahead.
well, I was going to say, like, the interesting thing is, and that even kind of like bring, a little bit to it is that, like, yeah, if I look back at the stuff that I wrote like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like the first book that I published was Modus Operandi. And yeah, I'll go back and look at that and just kind of be like, eh, yeah, I could have done that a little bit better. That's not quite right. I go back and look at the book I wrote before that, which, was a collection of essays. And I'm like, this guy's an asshole. I don't even know why I'm reading this book. What a dick. Like, not so much now. Now I go back and I read some of this, stuff I wrote like 10 years ago. And I'm like, no, this is pretty good. I don't know what the line is. Maybe it's because of the distance. Like I'm not as far away from that stuff as I am the others. And I don't feel as
Sure.
detached, but I think there is a point where it's partially you get to a point where you find not just who you are as a writer, but what you want to accomplish with it. And once you find that, then maybe you might cringe a bit at some of your stylistic mistakes on a technical level, but you're not going to hate your writing as much because you
Weirdly,
will.
I think I went through that journey with all the things I didn't write.
Mm, okay,
Like
yeah,
there was a part of me that knew I wasn't ready for this. I didn't see I mean, dude, I really really needed my entire journey through the film industry to actually gain perspective, because
sure.
where I came from, I have very good perspective about that aspect of life.
hmm
Um, the kind of childhood I had, what I'd gone through, all of these things. Like I had a lot of perspective from that perspective. Everything that I went through with the people that I met, the different experiences, how the amount of people that I met in LA that literally said goodbye to their parents at the border to get a different life. Like, no,
Mm,
I had like having my privilege shaken. I feel really opened my perception to what is going to make a character actually be a good character.
sure, yeah, okay. That's good,
Um,
yeah.
the musician, I the biggest holdup in the musician was essentially that two
Mm,
characters talking to each other but having different perspectives, and I could not find the conversation.
okay,
Knowing
I see what
after
you're saying.
writing Ryuki's Way and knowing everything that I actually did accomplish throughout that and everything I was successful in and all that, no, there literally is one scene in The Musician that I do not know how to write. And it's just a conversation,
Okay, hmm,
which is
interesting.
insane.
Right.
That like I have needed this level of help because of one conversation. But also, I had to write Ryuki's Way to find out that I could write.
Yeah.
That was one of those things because, I mean, dude, it's been, what, 7 years that I've been asking for help writing The Musician?
Yep. Yeah. Close to it, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is...
I think you're nearing on 8 years, aren't you? It's getting to 8 years, almost?
No.
No?
The first draft of The Musician, the opening scene, which wound up being the prologue, that I wrote in Portland.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So longer.
So there you go. Yeah. Okay.
So 9 years. Yeah, because I left Portland in 2016.
Yeah.
And that was one of the very last things that I did was I wrote that and I became obsessed with it. I became obsessed with... It's a moth, dude.
Let him do his job. He's doing his job.
It just also sounds like somebody's playing the drums right next to me. All right, final thing on the actual episode. The must see section. Count of Monte Cristo, I give it all the way a must see.
100%. Yeah. And yeah, Romancing the Stone, no. Yeah, like I think that's the thing about this is like it just I mean the section of the movie of the show that we're supposed to be talking about the Romancing the Stone, we're talking about literally everything else because there's nothing. It's like, okay, was it a fun watch? Yes, I enjoyed it. There is nothing to talk about it except the opening scene. The opening scene
and the alligator fight.
Yeah, but it's you see if you can find a TikTok clip of those. Maybe I'll put one up just for funsies, you know. So
honestly, yeah, that's about it. Like the movie, it was fun, but there's so many better versions of this movie.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's not there's not even really anything to talk about in the movie. That's, you know, which is a shame because they didn't really do anything wrong. It just wasn't anything special, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, good for them. I'm glad that everybody got their paycheck for that one. But that's it. That's all it was. So, you know.
No, it's a kitschy, cheeky kind of turn your brain off and look at the screen for 2 hours type of thing.
Yeah. For sure.
Monte Cristo is not that.
No, Monte Cristo is literature given true form, and yeah, absolutely a must see for sure.
The last thing I want to say about the Count of Monte Cristo is the movie poster. Dude, I don't know how they got Jim Caviezel to look like Antonio Banderas, but he looks exactly like Antonio Banderas.
Somebody in marketing said, we need to do something about this. Make it happen.
Like, no, more Antonio.
Yeah.
More, always more Antonio. Oh, now I want to watch The 13th Warrior again. God, I love Antonio Banderas. I know he's not underrated, but I do believe he is underutilized.
I think you're right. Yes, he is not. He had like a hot minute where he was in everything, but it literally was a hot minute. And now, yeah, it seems like he's hard to find for some reason.
Now maybe he's Puss in Boots.
Right, yeah. Which, I mean,
he's making more money off of Puss in Boots than anything else he ever did in his career.
That's the thing. Is like you got Puss in Boots, you got Mike Myers just retired off of doing Shrek. You know, I mean, it's like at a certain point you got to go like, what else is there? Like,
I still want to see the footage of Chris Farley as Shrek.
Okay.
You know, he was the original Shrek.
I think I remember hearing that, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it would be interesting to see because it's difficult to imagine.
What we wound up with was perfect. It was a tragedy that led to perfection. I just want to see Chris Farley interacting with Eddie Murphy as Donkey.
Oh yeah, that would be something. Yeah, that would be something.
But also, you rarely get like Chris Farley rarely got the girl. You got Beverly Hills Ninja. And that's it.
Right, yeah.
I'm not...
No, he got the girl in Tommy Boy, didn't he?
Tommy... Oh, he... You know what? Maybe I'm wrong here, because there was also that Frontiers movie that he did with Matthew Perry. I think he got the girl in that one, too. Maybe I'm just all the way wrong on that.
Okay. All right.
Did you get it? No. Because there's a window.
Right.
No, I guarantee it's the light here that is just pulling the moths to come say what's up.
Of course,
All right,
yeah.
So next week, we are going to be doing our big season 2 finale, which
Ooh,
is
and this is
going
going to be a doozy.
Yes, it is, and I am gonna stay awake on Friday to get it done. Like, yes.
All right. Friday night, we are watching Bedtime Story.
Well, no. So next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're gonna do Monday Bedtime Story.
Oh.
Wednesday, we're going to do Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and then Friday night we're gonna do, I think it's called Hustle or The Hustle.
The Hustle.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
two remakes and the original story, and we're gonna kind of. I don't know how that's gonna go for the actual episode when we cover that, because like a 3-way movie fight.
I don't know if we'd call it a fight. I think it would, because it'd be,
It's probably gonna be pretty clear which one's the best.
probably, maybe, yeah. I think it'd be more like a comparison, so, which one, I mean, and there's going to be certain things, like, it's going to be really tough to talk shit about some of these people, like, how are you going to sit there and say, like, who's better, freaking
Steve Martin or Michael Caine?
yeah, or no, like Steve Martin and Michael Caine versus
Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson.
And Anne Hathaway. Thank you very much. Yeah, like, are you really going to sit there and try to compare, Anne Hathaway and Michael Caine and be like, all right, who's better? It'd be like, no, shut the fuck up. Yay, 2 kicks. No, that's what this is.
They got to be separate, but also, yeah. No, I get.
And apparently, I don't know if did you know this.
I almost said a phrase that probably really bad.
Okay. But what I didn't realize, maybe you mentioned this when we first talked about this. I didn't know this, but in Bedtime Story, the original one, the Steve Martin role is played by Marlon Brando.
No, really? We get a goofy Marlon Brando?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
like,
I was
like when I found it and I got it, I'm like, no. So yeah,
I would have seen Brando as the straight man, but I'm ready for this. Should we do this in reverse order? Should we watch The Hustle first and then?
No. Let's definitely do it in order. Let's do it in order. We might regret it, but I think no. Yeah, starting with, because it's out of the 3, it's the one I haven't seen is the Bedtime Story. I've seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and The Hustle. Okay, yeah.
No, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, I saw that like the first time when I was like 6 years old, and like I told everybody for like a year it was my favorite movie. Like, I loved that movie so much.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, like, that makes perfect sense, yeah.
No, like, that is a movie that perfectly crossed like child to adult, and like as memory serves. Again, I was an 80s child. I have like that that statement does not hold true to the modern era.
No. It's like, I'm pretty sure this movie holds up. I'm trying to remember when the last time it was that I saw it.
I have a cat. They're doing that. They're like they're looking above me, and I'm like, where is the spider that is about to leap down on my face? Like, I don't like it because I got one over here doing the same thing.
It's probably not a spider. It's probably a ghost of a
I'm
haunted.
fine with that.
Yeah,
I need an
audience.
child.
Yeah, ghost of a haunted child. Yeah, it's more likely.
Well, I don't like that.
Okay.
Oh, give me.
Well, it's never the ghost of a happy child.
But it should be. You know, I mean, I don't, okay, here. No, you got ghost stories and everything like that, and sure, yeah, they stick around, and yes, if you follow supernatural rules, then yeah, they stick around long enough, they go mad and all this stuff. Well, right, come on. There's not a ghost of the old guy who was obsessed, like the autistic old guy who was obsessed with trains, that is like haunting a train yard.
Right, yeah.
Never goes. evil.
He can't let go because that's where his favorite train is. Yeah, he's not really a harm to anybody. He's just like, look, someone's got to watch after the old 76. All right, if not
100%.
me,
No,
who?
yeah,
Yeah,
like a museum, like train yard or something like that.
yeah.
You telling me like an autistic old man who was like obsessed with his little train set in his basement, all this? You telling me like he wouldn't haunt that and then just be like have a heart attack or something or fall off one of the like displays and then
Right,
haunt
yeah.
that the rest of his life and or the
That's
rest of
probably
eternity
true.
happy?
I doubt that he's in your house though.
Oh, yeah. No,
Your
yeah.
house probably has the haunted child.
Well, I mean, that's my luck. Yeah.
Your house has abusive orphanage vibes. So
Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, that house I showed you pictures of that I was thinking about buying.
oh right, yes. Now I remember. Yes, no, that
Oh,
was that was a different house.
Have you seen anything of my house other than like this wall of window?
You showed me pictures of like 3 different houses when you were in the market to buy, and I vaguely recall which
true.
one that one was.
Okay, all right. No, I've done that thing where I'm already treating myself like I became successful. I have not shown pictures of my house online. I don't want people to be able to find me. I don't like.
No, yeah,
No,
exactly.
well, because
Dude,
that's the
I
thing.
got
Like, I live out in the mountains, man. If you want to come kill me, like that's really easy. I mean, that's hard. I got big dogs.
right, yeah. It's a long walk to kill you. Yeah, for sure.
Well, actually,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I've been like that even like before I even considered getting famous. Like just last week, I got one of those like mass texts. Someone's trying to sell me roofing. I'm like, I don't even own a roof. What do you know? But they had my phone number, my actual first name, and the actual town I'm living in, all referenced. Just like we're nearby in such and such, you know. And hi,
these
Jonathan.
scams
You know,
have gotten
and,
really good. I got a
yeah,
phone
and I'm
call
sitting
with
here, and
somebody
I'm
who knew my interest rate for my house, and I was like,
yeah. And
I
so
don't
yeah,
like
that's the
this.
thing. I was like, I'm sitting there going like, man, I gotta figure out who. Like, I gotta narrow down which one of these have these 3 information all together. Who sold my info again? You know, it's like, man, that's just
No, that is the trick. But like I said, next week we got Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're gonna be doing bedtime story, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Over to the Hustle, and then the following week is going to be the season 2 finale, the
yep.
actual
Where
season 2 finale podcast.
we're actually gonna where we try to process the massive amount of scam artist information we just downloaded into our 3 movie brain. Yes.
Yes, and somehow I really struggled through season 2. The move to the house, everything that had been going on, like, but somehow
Editing
we
your
made it.
book and moving and joining the volunteer fire department all at the same time, like a madman. Like, it's your fault for doing all those things at once. Most people would pick one at a time. You did all 3 at once.
Well, yeah, but okay, so here's the thing about overwhelming yourself with things to that degree. I also am the caretaker for the lake around
Oh,
my
right.
local.
Yes, I forgot you did mention that. Yes.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing. If any one of those becomes too overwhelming, and here's the thing, I didn't go from slow to something. I went from slow to way too fast. And if I stick with like way too fast for 3 or 4 months, even 6 months, and then I need to get rid of one, the 3 remaining will feel easier than just starting and going to do like less.
Okay. Interesting. If you say so, whatever works for you.
What, do you understand?
I'm
Do you
not-
understand what
Yeah,
do you understand what I mean when I say that?
not really. No, because I've never like when I hit my burnout, it's like a fire sale. Everything must go. Like
Okay.
yeah. Like I don't just go like, oh, I got to cut back on 1 or 2 things. No, it's like I hit a wall and then, you know, like 3 weeks later, I got people calling me, checking to make sure I'm still alive because I have vanished. Like,
No, that's one of those things. Like when I'm overwhelmed because I have 7 things going on, if I ditch 2 of them and I only have 5 things going on, I honestly like get bored again, and like sitting in there. It's
Okay.
like, okay, I'm not psychotically overwhelmed. I'm kind of bored. I
Okay.
have I have I have 5 free minutes. God, what can I do?
Okay. All
Like,
right.
no, we are very different creatures. That is true.
Clearly, yes.
Yes, if I got as much sleep as you got, I bet I could take over the world. If I got one night's rest for that, I bet I'd be happy.
I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I wish I knew what my secret was. I certainly don't. Because here's the
Well, no,
thing.
you have
Yeah,
ADHD.
well, yeah,
You overprocess shit every day. Like,
that's the thing. I go
or
to
not
exhaustion.
overprocess. You process too much information.
Yes, I go to exhaustion. I don't fall asleep. I pass out. And then I am unconscious until I have been rebooted. And so yeah, that's basically what it comes down to.
And I have to work myself to such sheer exhaustion just so I'm not an insomniac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I have to push myself to a point where it's like, dude, you like, and even then when I'm laying down, like today, today I took like an hour and a half nap after I finished editing, and because my plan was edit in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
take a little nap, and then just chill until the show. But no, I took a nap, woke up, put some steaks on the grill. Once I was done eating, I came back and I was like, I got an hour, and I started and I started editing again. And then I even missed I missed when you joined Streamlabs because I was actually in the document.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
no, like I have to. But here's the thing. With that like psychotic work ethic and everything like that, I'm just doing stuff.
Mm.
This like the stuff that like what you are doing, how well crafted your books and your stories are, and the way the reader is not going to read your book and not understand what you wanted them to understand. Mine, the information is still there, but it's like every third person is going to understand it.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, so I have put in the work, and like the work is on the page, but I still haven't done it right. So
Interesting. Okay.
I would rather do a tenth of what I do and still wind up with more product because of what has been done. Like manic and crazy work ethic does not always make it better. It just means
No,
it looks like I'm working harder.
that's
Well,
true.
and technically I am working harder, but that doesn't necessarily mean a good
It's
thing.
it's that best of both worlds. And that's the thing. It's like I want to have I want to have my ADHD superpowers, but none of my weaknesses. That's what everybody wants.
Daywalker.
That's yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nah, I feel that. All right, guys. We'll be back on Monday, 7 p.m. Yeah, or do you want to go a little earlier?
Monday, no, seven's fine. Seven's fine.
All
Yeah.
right, we'll see you guys Monday at 7 p.m. From now until then, stay safe and stay sane, and enjoy Colbert while you can.
And remember to like, subscribe, and obey. I've decided I'm going to try quoting things now as my goodbye instead of actually coming up with my own.
Where is the obey thing? Like, where did
Like,
that come
subscribe.
in?
Remember to like, subscribe, and obey is from Borderlands 3.
Okay, I never.
You haven't played Borderlands 3? Oh,
I never played any Borderlands.
really? I thought you played Borderlands 1. I thought I saw you play Borderlands 1 once.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. No, one of our old buddies like really fought to get me to do that, and I was like,
Mhm.
"All right, man, I'll jump on and I'll play it." But no, I played that for like 2 days, and I was like, "I hate this."
Really? Oh man.
Oh, dude, I
Okay.
am not a first-person shooter kind of like that's not
Oh.
that like
See, I do
if
love the
there's any
Borderlands.
particular game style that I actually like that I'm a part of, it's
Right.
turn-based RPG.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, cool.
No.
Well, you should go and watch some of the scene clips then of the Borderlands because they're fucking entertaining. It's entertaining shit, entertaining story, entertaining characters. Like even if you're not into playing it, you should just check out what the whole Borderlands thing is about.
All right. Let's do our 30 seconds and close up the show.
All right.